Never before have we had greater face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. What kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?
To do final line. Oh man, I didn't update the layout with your camera link. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Retro. This is an easy fix, everybody. Don't worry. We run into this time to time, and that is the wonders of using a third-party sort of streaming thing. And drum roll, please. There he is. All right, look at that. I believe we're live. I think we're good to go. Andrew, you here with me? You live?
I am here.
Whoa,
I am here. We are live. The question is whether or not our audio is good.
Awesome. There was a slight doubling up there, and that's what happens when it's just you and me in the back. There's one audio track and it's fine. Once we go live, there's a whole bunch of stuff and you double up. Turn that off. We're good. Your audio should be coming through fine. Mine looks to be coming through fine. There's no bleeds coming from anybody's headphones. I think we are good to go on this week's foil variant. Guys, how are you all doing out there? It is another lovely Thursday night here on this beautiful blue orb. And after a week off, I took a slight vacation. I took a road trip with the lady friend, and we went to go see that band BTS. So we did that.
That band BTS, as though, okay, let's pretend like people don't know who BTS are. All right.
To be completely honest,
we got friggin' hipster Spencer over here. I knew about BTS before they were cool.
That's the thing. I didn't know. I did not know until I started dating her. I knew of them. I couldn't tell you a song. And then I was like, Dynamite, all that. I'd never heard them. And I don't know. It's funny you say it like hipster Spencer, because that's actually the reason I don't know them, because my actual music tastes are so indie and not mainstream.
Right.
The mainstreamiest I get are female pop stars. You know that. Our Sabrinas.
Yeah, your
our
Sabrina
Taylors.
Carpenters.
Yeah. So if it's not in that zone, I don't really know.
Look, I get it. I totally understand that. Dylan calls me Andrew Juana Grande because I have a guilty pleasure for Ariana Grande's stuff.
I get bummed a little bit because I'm sure you know this, and I'm not sure if the audience does, but I'm a big musical dork. I love musicals, and I like Wicked, and obviously she sings the songs on the Wicked soundtrack. I don't like the movies. The movies they literally Disney slopified Wicked for those movies. It's kind of genuinely insane. But you would think a musical I like, Ariana Grande singing the songs, and it's she rules and it's great, but I can't get over the entire production of it all. You know what I mean?
Sure. For me, it's hard to look past the physical part because Ariana Grande was already 86.5 pounds soaking wet.
That is part of it,
because
man.
she is small just naturally.
Yeah, she's a small lady.
When she started doing that movie and the press stuff afterwards, all of a sudden whatever 15 or whatever ounces of body fat she had on her disappeared. Now she looks gaunt and kind of unhealthy. And it made me when I first saw footage of her, I was like, are you okay? Like not in like the stupid internet jackass way of
Exactly.
like, oh, someone gets this girl a sandwich.
Exactly.
No, like an actual. I like Ariana Grande. And so like
medically
I was like,
concerned for you.
yeah, like what's happening? Like, can we please like make sure we're taking care of our health?
And it's crazy because I was talking in the Kabuto Studio server / Foil Variant server. You guys can all join us down below in the link. It's in the description of this video, in all our videos. But we were talking about this, and one of our I guess users is the right word. I don't know, members of the chat, whatever you want to say. Prince Alchemist, he was, me and Masta, shout out to Masta, we were like, yeah, remember when Ariana got too skinny? That was really worrying, blah, blah, blah. And Prince Alchemy and Zero both chimed in, like, we see that, we recognize it. They put forward, like, this is obviously Hollywood pushing all of the unhealthy body standards on us, right? And it's odd to me because, and I know, guys, this is kind of like side comic book related, but you know what? It's our show. We can talk about this.
Our show.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not our real dads.
If you are, you owe me a lot of allowances, and I could really use it right now. The Steam Deck just got an insane price increase. But
yeah, a 45% price increase, actually.
Fucking so, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We need... It feels like when they were charging like $900 for Death of Superman. Like, it's cool.
Oh.
I don't like. We need to be realistic about this. But yeah, they were saying that whole thing about Hollywood body standards, and I agree. Like, we all know that exists, right? We all know that even though we've evolved a little bit and we're more aware of it, that's still like the standard. But it's so weird to me with the a lot of factors, and to not to sound like a fucking like liberal arts student, but like. More awareness of the like unhealthy level of that stuff.
It's one thing to want to look like the best version of yourself and feel good about your own physicality, your own body, but there is a point where it crosses into like genuine unhealthiness.
And it's just so weird to me that that's still happening being. Because like people like thick girls now, like that's the rate, like it's everything. The thick Tony.
Yeah, we do.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my god, when we get to Venom, guys, it's gonna. Oh man, Carlos, it's
Carlos Gomez is God's gift to comic books.
That issue, and I don't think this will be.
He goes crazy.
Both him and Ewing go crazy in that issue, and it feels like everything. I don't know. We'll get into it. I don't want to get into it too much.
We'll get there. We don't want to bury the lead.
We'll just dive into it. But I don't even remember where we were talking about anymore. Anyway, it's weird. Thick girls rule. But yes, Thursday night, we're back here with Foil Variant. As Andrew and I just teased, we have Venom on the docket to talk about. We have lots, not necessarily lots of things to focus on and headline, but I think some things we could quick hit. Obviously, we had some new Absolute issues with Green Arrow. And did you read Flash, the new one that came out, I think this week or last week? I wasn't
joking. No. I wasn't joking when I said I was dropping Flash. I dropped Flash.
No, Absolute Flash.
Oh, Absolute. Yeah, I read Flash.
No, yeah, I would never ask you if you bought Flash. Are you kidding me? Like, I bought this cover this week and I felt dirty about it. Right? Like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Stop putting good covers on bad things.
On bad books. Yeah. Well, how else are they going to sell the bad books, right?
I don't know. Make it a #1. That's what you guys love to do, apparently. Or pull a Spider-Man and just like put it out 3 times a month and say every issue matters.
Oh God, yeah. I got. Did I get multiple covers for Abs Flash?
I did. Last week had the awesome one, the Carlos Bogallon one, where he's like.
Yeah, so I got the standard one, and I do still hate this stupid suit. Because I think
it can look cool in moments, but it's like overall, it's not a good
Here's
suit.
My rule. Unless your name is Future Trunks, you don't get to be a dude and wear a crop jacket.
My addendum to that was gonna be like, or a girl, like but then you went a dude, yeah.
90s Superboy is like close in terms of like his jacket, but it's still longer.
It's like slightly longer.
Yeah. It's in that in between state. It's not like a straight up crop jacket, but it's also not full length. And he gets away with it because he's 90s Superboy.
Right. He's of that era.
I did also get this cover.
Is that who drew that one? Is that Inyuk? That's not Inyuk.
No, this is not Inyuk Lee. This is Paratore.
Oh.
I mean, the thing is, Marvel and DC are getting a ton of Brazilian guys and gals.
They are
doing their stuff lately. And
well,
so
like, isn't Bennett from like Joe Bennett? At least at the time he was at Marvel, wasn't he in Brazil or Argentina or something?
No, and he still is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He's Brazilian. Yeah. He, Will Conrad, Deborah Carita.
Conrad's Brazilian. I didn't know that.
And Jack Herbert all work out of the same like agency. Like they have the same talent manager.
That's crazy. I didn't know
and I know that because we work with all of them.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. But still, that's a cool little connection, I guess, or like result of business. That's cool. I didn't know that. But I have noticed, pardon me, recent years have seen, and this is what, like, it's so emblematic of Marvel, where like they try a good thing, but then they don't capitalize, where I'm sure you've seen Marvel in particular over the last few years. We've seen a lot more like Latin artists, you know, your Carlos Gomez's.
Well, you can always tell when it's a Brazilian artist because Brazilian artists always draw the women with the very stereotypical Brazilian backside.
We all read Brazilian
and none of us
Spider-Man,
are complaining.
All right, we all read Brazilian Spider-Man, and if you haven't, you better go do it right now. And then,
do yourself the favor.
They also, Marvel has tapped like a lot of Japanese creators, right? Like we got a lot of those manga crossovers with like Deadpool Samurai, the Avengers Attack on Titan, all the Spider-Man manga. Like they have those partnerships, and then we get the occasional like cover, right? Like a manga artist will do a cover every now and then. But that like that's it. They never. I first noticed it a couple years ago, like right off the heels of Marvel Now, when DC was like rebirthing and everybody was sort of jumping ship because so many people were leaving Marvel, and I'm like, that's like, who are you guys gonna get now that like everybody's going exclusive over there? And they got a lot of these new upstarts, but they don't like I couldn't tell you any of them who are still there's maybe like 3, right? Who are it's like Iban, it's like Vecchio, the one for Uncanny X-Men, and then like I think,
gosh, his art is so good.
Capuccio, the one who does Wolverine, that guy's crazy.
Oh man, like, Alessandro Capuccio, his art is so pretty.
I cannot wait until he's on a good book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Wolverine, or like, let's rephrase that, because Ultimate Wolverine was great up until
like those last 3 or 4 issues that they decided to tack on. Had no plans for.
Do you know what I realized after our last episode? I went back and I was flipping. Both part 1 and the epilogue of Ultimate Wolverine end the exact same way, with Jean and Logan, like they beat a member of the Makers Council, and then they both kind of go like, oh, well, our fight's over. Like that was crazy. And then it just says like the end. And I'm like, why did we need to do that twice? We didn't need to do any of this. Like, and that's not even getting into Endgame, which like, maybe we'll broach it. I don't know. I don't know, Andrew. There's so much to talk about. What do you say? We keep our
let's get into some good comics.
I was gonna say let's keep our rage a little inside. Let's go say hi to everybody in the chat. Before we do, of course. What else did you buy this week? Anything else you want to show off? I know.
What else I have? I got Fireborn issue number 2. I still haven't had a chance to read issue number 1.
Wait. Oh no, I didn't get number 2. I got the reprint of 1 that absolute homage.
Oh, nice. I got the first printing of 1 of just the cover A. Oh man, that foil. That's pretty. I like that.
I can't.
Of course.
Where do you guys think you are?
Right. Exactly. No, I got that. What's crazy? I got the Absolute Wonder Woman, obviously, because that's one of the best books right now.
Did you do your proper tribute or your proper sacrificing?
My shop didn't have any of the Dodsons.
What?
Yeah,
that's
but I didn't get to my shop until like 6:30.
Still criminal. Still, like my shop's always got the Dodsons. But yeah, guys, this is what Dodson looks like when he's doing good. Go look at our last episode
when his wife is
Endgame.
inking.
Yeah, when Rachel's there, this is what you get.
Obviously, I got Amazing Spider-Man from last week, which
I know
wasn't actually a bad issue.
I know. Oh my goodness, guys,
issue.
it's frustrating. This week's episode or issue of Spider-Man, last week's, whatever it was.
And my shop, for whatever reason, didn't have the standard cover A for.
Really?
Yeah, like there were none of, like, this is the one that was in my box.
Really?
Normally it would have been just the standard in my box. And then I went over to the wall, and this was literally the only one they had in terms of like only cover. So, but obviously you still have that Mora.
I didn't know they did that.
That's what they do with all the cardstock ones.
I didn't. I've literally never opened a cardstock one because they're cardstock.
Oh, really?
Like, okay, because my shop puts them in these. Like when I show these off, like these are what they are on the rack. So I just take it off the shelf. Unless it's something like you and I need to double check, I've got the Pakistani guy, so everything stays in the like blind or in the poly bag. So that's
right.
I actually really like that. That is very cool. That's super strange though that you only got that one variant cover because there's like multiple for it.
So that was the only cover that my shop had. To the point where that's what was in, well, at least I can't speak for everybody else, but that's what was in my box.
I mean, this is we talk about it a lot on this show. After Diamond, blew up, all of the publishers went to various distributors. It's all over the place now. And because of that, we know schedules have been off. But for some reason, they've never been able to get back on schedule and also like keep this from happening because books get missed all the time, like every week. I know these last 2 weeks alone, last week, let's see, let me do all my days here really quick. No, 2 weeks ago, my shop didn't get that Peach Momoko Black Cat cover in that I finally found. I had to go to Northern California, my friends. I had to go all the way out of state to find a copy of that. But, they didn't have that. This week, they didn't have your Superman. And I know I was talking to Punk, shout out Punk who's in the chat, and his shop didn't get some of his books or like some of the Marvel books this week. So it's just like, I don't know what's going on. I really wish somebody would get a handle on it. But alas, I mean, check this out. I think this is what's weird too. You picked up Absolute Green Arrow last week, right?
Yes.
I passed
on a
on
whim.
it. Yeah, right. I passed on it just because I was like, I don't know. Absolute Flash was kind of a stinker, so I'm a little wary. Read it, went, okay, I'll go grab, I'll try and see if I can find a copy of issue 1, first print. Didn't matter because this week they released the standard, cover F foil version of it, which is not a reprint. It's just, this should have been on the shelf last week. This one and the logo printing. So I'm like, even you
are we
guys
sure
have it
that
all
wasn't
screwed
just
up.
a late ship?
That's what I mean, right? I don't know how even the same interbook, or let me rephrase this. Let me rephrase my confusion here. You and I, when that normally happens, we get to our shops and we go, that's weird. Our shop didn't get it. We're just gonna have to check next week. This was on League of Comic Geeks. This was the scheduled release cadence was everything last week, these two this week. And I'm like,
that's such a strange choice.
The only thing I can think, Andrew, is that both of them are foil and there's something went wrong with the foil print. But even then, I've never seen that. I've never seen anybody do that. They still managed to make it on time. I don't know. Just a very weird moment. Is that all you grabbed this week?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
That's all I grabbed this week.
I have to... I had to come clean. I'm a whore. I'm just I was standing there. I put it in my hand. I'm just I am such a slut. But I can't resist a Gabrielle Dell'Otto foil printing. And even though I don't remember which one this is, but either way, the issues were fine. But this cover, you have. I know everybody hates Black Suit Superman, but he can be cool. He can be cool when used right. So, yeah, that's all I got for the week. All right. What do you say?
Mainly just hate him when Zack Snyder uses him because he wishes that's what his normal suit was.
I mean, it's cool. Do not get me wrong. A black suited Superman is cool, but it does not beat red, blue, and yellow. Like it just
It's just like with Spidey's classic suit. Like, cool. The black suit is awesome. The classic suit's better.
and like the classic ones are better for a hero. Like in my mind right now, I'm just thinking like, imagine you're in the middle of a dust up and you know there's villains all around, and all of a sudden you take cover and like it goes silent, and then all the dust starts moving or whatever. Right, you're under rubble. If you see a silver shield with black, you're gonna be like, oh shit, like. Are you good? Like, I'm scared. But you see that big blue, red, gold, and you're like, safety. Like those are comfort, emergency colors even. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the black suit. I just hate everybody's wanking off over it. And you're probably right. It all comes from Zack Snyder. But what doesn't come from Zack Snyder is all of our
wonderful chat.
Yes, exactly. So let's say hi to you guys. I see you guys have been going crazy, chatting it up a storm while Andrew and I have been going back and forth. So first up, Mary is here through the Room of Requirement account asking where her man was because she's getting a little hungry, if you will. This isn't thirsty. She's going for like food metaphors here.
Okay.
Guys, make sure go click on Mary's username. Go subscribe to Room of Requirement. That is Andrew and Mary's Harry Potter. Is lore channel the right way to describe it? I don't want to.
Yeah, that's exactly the words that we've been using. Actually,
I just don't want to do the what do you call it? Like I don't want to condescend at it, right? Because just because I don't know Harry Potter, so I want to be cool. But yeah, guys, I know you've been teasing some bigger stuff coming out yet. I've been out of the loop for the last 2 weeks. Has any of that dropped yet?
So all the editing is done on the two-parter that I just did. We're still not dropping that one for a little bit because we scheduled out a ton of videos. So we're saving that one. That one's probably going to be a little further in the year, but it turned out so well.
I'm so excited.
Where Mary and Dylan are at in their editing skills, it like leveled up so much that this two-parter looks fantastic. And I'm so excited because it was one that when Mary and I were talking about doing the channel, it was one of the first 2 video ideas I had. The other one being a Slytherin rehabilitation video series, which was like, how do you take the idea and the perception of how Slytherins are looked at within Harry Potter lore, and how do you fix that? How do you change that? What's
really
required?
Like that.
And that's a 3-parter. That one's up on the channel. All 3 parts of that are up on the channel. That was the first thing that I did.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something new? But no, that's right. I remember that now.
So I'm very proud of that one. But then this was the other one, which is a 2-parter, which is comparing and contrasting Voldemort and Grindelwald and how their ideologies actually differ quite a bit. Both have a couple of things that they're similar in, but beyond those, they're drastically different. And it's really interesting to kind of look at them as a case study in terms of like what is actually more dangerous in a villain. And so that's all I'll say about that because that's the one that's coming. Yeah, that one I'm really, really, really.
And as always, guys, my friendship with Mary and Andrew aside, it's a quality channel, and I say that as somebody who doesn't know Harry Potter. I learned lore stuff from it, I guess. You know what I don't know. I feel like I'm doing a bad job of promoting it. Go click on Mary's name. Go subscribe to it. We'll bug you about it again at the end of the show. And let's keep going. We have Clone Geek in the house. He says, that is the ugliest Venom design I have ever seen. Marvel really just needs to stop giving characters symbiotes. I can't wait until the MJ as Venom stuff gets retconned out.
So you're wrong on both counts, actually, and like you couldn't be more abysmally wrong, and I'm kind of sick of it.
I will.
It's actually a fantastic design, and on top of that, as someone who has known from the start that this was going to be a temporary thing, and it still is going to be a temporary thing.
Yeah,
and I'm fine with that. This is the house of status quo. It's all going to eventually reset back. They're not going to retcon it. I'm sorry, they haven't retconned squat. And on top of that, I actually hope it goes on longer now, so long as Al Ewing makes it feel organic. Because so far, it's the book I'm enjoying most. I'm sorry I'm an Al Ewing cultist, but I'm enjoying the book.
Like, so I'm right there with Andrew 100%. The only difference I would say is there was an element they introduced to the suit in its full reveal that I do not like, and it bugs me aesthetically. But aside from that,
Which part?
the nails,
Like different from the
nails.
I
she
can
has
agree with that.
visible
That's strange.
gold
Yeah, that's
nails,
strange.
and I'm like,
I can agree with that.
no, that doesn't work for me.
I
Like,
absolutely
don't
can
know.
agree with that.
But so that bugs me. But in terms of symbiote designs, in terms of all that, not even, it's really not that much different from like a Scream. You know what I mean? It's Scream if Scream was more
It's
in
Scream,
control.
Well, it's Scream if Scream was more Venom and less Carnage.
Oh, I totally forget that the Life Foundation symbiotes all come from like the Carnage gene, technically.
Like-
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she looks way more female Carnage than
that's why
she
she has,
does
like,
female Venom.
Bagley always draws
It's
her
all
with like the
tenderly,
Carnage. Yeah,
and-
the
yeah,
Carnage tendrils up.
exactly.
So
So because that's the kind of like unhinged, like just kind of not very well put together in the literal physical sense.
Right, yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
manifestation of that design,
so
which
cool.
looks cool. I mean,
does-
it looks
no,
cool.
absolutely.
You know,
But
you gotta
it's-
love classic '90s Bagley. You know,
I still can't get over that they were gonna get rid of him, man, until Kurt Busiek was
when
like,
that came out, I was like, "What are we doing here?"
and that was when he was on Spider-Man, like delivering that work, and Kurt Busiek
That's
had to be like,
actual insanity.
and then Kurt Busiek has to be like, no, I want him for Thunderbolts, please, 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 and then Marvel's like, okay, Marvel doesn't like any. Marvel feels like the guy who like owns all of this stuff, but he doesn't want to own this stuff, and it just feels like a chore that he has to deal with like comic books. You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
I bought this like storage unit, right? Like this storage auction unit because it had a lot of good TV and movie options. Ah, crap! There's a whole bunch of comic book stuff in here. Like I don't care about this, but I guess I've got to take care of it. And
Right. Yeah.
yeah, that's how we get everywhere we are. As far as retconning it out, one, it's never going to happen on an editorial sense because Marvel does not want to do a retcon. I believe it was Chip Zdarsky who just came out because he's orchestrating that next like Armageddon, everything changes in the Marvel universe. I know nothing will.
It's
It
like,
doesn't
no,
matter.
it doesn't.
Who cares? Right, exactly. The only reason I care is
We
because
just did a storyline like this.
the only reason I care is because that first issue, every single one of them is coming polybagged with a magic card because of that the Marvel set's
there it
coming,
is.
and it's got Ryan Stegman art on it. So
Nerd.
I'm like, that's a cool card.
Well, yeah, Ryan Stegman art.
You'll be happy when you get it. Like let's put it that way. Like you'll get the card and you'll be like, oh, this is actually a cool card to look at. So you won't just like toss it in a bin. Oh, so okay, hold on. Before we continue on the with the chat, oh wait, as far as the MJ Venom stuff, yeah, Marvel will never retcon it because they're cowards. But also, I don't think this
isn't something that needs to be retconned.
No, this is, as we will actually see when we get to the issue, a writer's strength, and you and I are on this all the time, comes in his ability to take something crappy and make it work, right? So even if we get to the end of
How
this...
do you play the hand you're dealt?
Exactly. So even if we get to the end of this and everything, Andrew and I have been loving everything. It's been full houses all the way through for us. And then we get, a 7-2 split or something at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's going to suck. Right. A good how do you lose gracefully, right? We could sit here and go, oh my God, that bet went awful. This is the worst thing ever. Yada, da, 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 da. Or a writer could go, that sucked. How do I get back? Like, how do I fix this? Instead of just stamping their foots and going, no. And we'll see an example of that when we get to it. Okay. Now that I closed out Clone Geek, I can go to this thought and we won't lose anything and we'll be good. But so Magic the Gathering Marvel, that set comes out in a couple weeks, in June 23rd, literally the day after my birthday. Couple things with that. One, if you guys are, for Magic players out there, you'll remember, so Magic just did that Marvel, the Spider-Man set. When they introduced that set to the online clients, like Arena and online, for whatever reason, they never came out, they couldn't put Spider-Man in it. So they had to do it, like the entire set. They got new art and redid all the
Did they say
cards.
why they couldn't do that?
They've never explained it. They just said like, when it comes, it'll be in universe.
Because it wouldn't have had anything to do with like Sony's ownership of the property, right? Because it's Marvel and Disney that has all the like merchandise licensing rights. Don't Magic cards fall under that?
They do.
Or do they fall under something different?
No, they do. You've got it exactly right. The problem, or at least like the running theory, is that Disney didn't want any confusion with Marvel Snap, because Marvel Snap is theirs, right? So Marvel Snap, the online or the mobile card game for everybody who doesn't know it, they were like, the theory is that they didn't want you to go, oh, I can play Marvel cards on my phone, like a Marvel card game on my phone. I'm going to Magic. And it's like, well, now Wizards gets a lot of that profit instead of us getting all of it. And it was weird because like Final Fantasy came in fine, Avatar came in fine, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So they did announce like 2 days ago that when the Marvel set drops, both Marvel and Spider-Man will finally come to the game. They didn't explain it, but they'll be there. That's just a little cool bit of news. I'm super, super excited about that. I think that's...
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, that's the easiest, like, mark of all time. Second, speaking of promo cards, there is what magazine is it? It's like SF, like the Special Effects magazine, right? There is one in the US. It's been running for a long time. I forget what it is exactly. No. It's a magazine, and I forget what it is, but it's like a magazine specifically centered around like PSA grading and collecting, right? So we're
kind of like the old Beckett
a little
collector magazines,
slightly like that, but
because I used to collect those. I used to have the Beckett Pokemon, Beckett Digimon, Beckett Yu-Gi-Oh, Beckett Dragon Ball
with all the really bad artworks on it. Oh yeah, but they were foil, baby. But they were foil. No, I had all those too. It's exactly like that, except, I don't know, to me more nonsensical, because like, I love magazines, guys. I'm always going to say, go buy print, go buy physical. But with like active prices of things, I feel like you don't need a magazine for that, right? Or like, what's the buzz? Because by the time it comes out, that buzz is gone.
Right. Well, because like right now you've got, in these days, because, again, I love physical things as well, but you've got so many apps that can track all that stuff basically in real time, because they're tied into so many different databases. Like I forget the name of it, but I have an app that I use that I've been tracking the prices on. Oh, it's price charting.
Oh, here he goes again, everybody. He discovered his Pokemon cards 3 months ago, and all he can do is look at me, King Butthole, King of the Castle.
Look, I need to get them graded and hopefully sold for a really nice amount of money.
Shut up! Oh my god! Every other guys, in our best for every other conversation is, oh, I remember cards. I may have some Pokemon, and it's like, Andrew, we know. Like, he might as well have like a big flashing hat that says, ask me about the fact I found my old Pokemon cards.
Well, now I'm curious to see what my Yu-Gi-Oh sets are worth too. I don't know if those retain their value like Pokemon cards do. I genuinely have no idea.
I'm going to say probably not, just because I know they just announced, like, Konami's going to print, like, what do you call it? Like, classic decks or whatever. Like facsimile decks, I guess is what it, right? Like, oh, this is the same Blue Eyes you could have bought in whenever we were kids. So, like, maybe...
From the original Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon set.
Yeah. So... I have no idea, but I do know your Pokemon cards are going to be worth a lot. But the reason I bring up that magazine is because there's there's one promo card for the Magic Marvel set that you can get from it. It is a pretty useful card. It's Swords to Plowshares for those who play out there, but it's art of Thanos at the end of Infinity War, where he's like on the farm and he's like looking out with like the backhoe or whatever, and he's like, this is like the right life. You can only get it through, like, you have to get a year subscription to the magazine to get the card, and a year subscription is like $120. Nuh-uh. Like, especially if it's not even cool art. Like, that's why the Ryan Stegman made me think of it, because it's a nice painting. Don't get me wrong. Every artist who works on Magic cards is extremely talented, but it's just like, oh, you're standing there. And you're not even like battle ready Thanos. Like, you're in your little weird kilt smock thing.
Right.
He literally has booties. Have you ever looked at the Infinity War art? Like in the comics, he's got little booties on. And it's just like,
yeah.
Nah, man.
It's not the greatest choice to
Anybody
make.
who says Thanos can take Darkseid,
No, I'm
Darkseid's
sorry,
never
no.
worn booties, man. Darkseid has never worn booties. We also have Comics Dad here, going back to our comments way at the beginning of the stream about you guys not being our dads. If I am your dad and you want a Steam Deck now, I got to go to the corner store. I'll be back later. In this economy, it is like morally correct to abandon your family because you can't afford it.
Dude, it's genuinely insane. Like I get there are a lot of, and I won't pretend to know every little line item and things like that. I do know that because of the current AI boom, there are massive costs that have gone across the board, not just in the video game industry, but everything. Because it's drawing more power that requires more cooling, so that's driving up water prices. Like it's affecting everything to a very drastic negative degree right now. I'm kind of like, as handy as it is to be able to like condense my research for things by saying, okay, give me all credible information, verifiable information on such and such topic. These are specifically what I'm looking for and looking to verify. Give me it from these top sources and source and cite every source that you use, because you have to do that. Otherwise, AI, no matter which platform you're using, is going to give you back some BS sometimes.
Exactly.
They could just be off of Reddit or whatever, right?
And it bugs me too, because a lot of times I'll be like, oh, for example, tonight, I know that there have been MJ and Venom have existed in media for fucking ever, right? And I was like, hey, maybe there's a chance that out there is some media that says, in which she says, like, we are Venom. And I was going to get it, and I was going to make that like a sound clip for us. It's so, like, I wish I could go like, oh, hey, please give me every instance of, like, if Mary Jane Watson ever said we are Venom when being bonded. But I tried, I didn't even try, but I know, like, from in the past, it would be like, oh, yeah, she said it here in Venom, let there be carnage or whatever, right? And it's because something on the web said, like, my favorite part of the Venom movie was when they said we are Venom, but I really miss Mary Jane. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's just like, that's what they pick up on. So you get those results and you got to go search on them. It's really, really dumb. And we're just at the point where the Emperor is wearing no pants. Like, normal people don't care about AI. It's just the people who invested really heavily are trying to get you to go on board because they need their money back. So
yeah,
it's really bad. The Steam Deck particularly hurts because with my unemployment, Andrew, I was like, oh, I got time to like look at video games again. A Steam Deck would be nice. sort of a parting, or like a severance gift to myself, if you will.
Sure.
It was out of stock.
But it's hard to justify that.
Now it is. Like at the 700 it was expensive to like justify. But yeah, now I'm just like goodbye. I guess I'm never playing a Steam Deck ever again. Let's see. Yeah. Subhuman is here. He asks, Bruce gets a new butler. What are we doing? Andrew, did you see that announcement?
That Bruce gets a new butler?
Yes.
Is this going to be in Fraction's book, or this is in
Fraction? Yeah, Fraction Jimenez. It is a young blonde, like English woman, presumably English woman, will be his new butler. Somebody that, according to the solicits, Alfred like has been. He's had this like contingency plan forever. Like, if I go, she'll step up into my role because I know Bruce needs some sort of help. That's literally all we know right now.
Okay, so what's the big deal?
I don't know. I
don't have a problem with that as long as it's written well.
That's the thing.
As long as, like, show me, convince me. That is my response to just about anything that doesn't sound completely retarded. Convince me. This could be something really interesting that adds an evolution to the Batman books that we haven't had in a while. Or it could be what is super predictable, which is like, it turns out that this person is actually just trying to uncover who Batman is or whatever, and they're actually a villain and yada yada, and that's the most predictable choice you could have made.
Remember the all-in thing with oh, this is your brother! Bah, bah, bah. Remember that?
I don't want to think about that, because all-in Batman was bad.
It is, and I hate, I'm sure you know, Andrew, the, like, what is it? The rule that if you go to a concert or like a movie or anything, what your audience remembers the most is the beginning and the end. right? Especially the end, because that's the last thing.
What was
they
your
do.
opener? What was your closer?
Right, exactly. The fact that All In Batman ends with that Jimenez drawn shot of Bats riding the like plane into the Gotham street and then jumping off and punching KGBs. That's so comic book that like
That was dope.
I know, and that's the
And
problem,
that was
is,
one
like,
of like 4 pages that he drew for that issue too.
I know, and that's the problem where like I keep remembering that, and I'm like, yes, that was cool. Don't get tricked, Spencer. Like, don't do it. Like, you are better than this. Let's see.
I'm willing to be convinced.
There, that's our new butler coming up soon.
Conceptually, that's not a turnoff for me. Okay, so
No.
let's see what we do. Let's see what we get.
And guys,
like, here's the thing. Like,
it's a Jimenez woman. Like, I'm not gonna be mad ever.
You can't have 2 things at once. Sometimes you got to pick a lane. We get people that are like, oh, they just tell the same stories over and over, and then you have people saying, oh no, it's new, and I hate something new. It changes things. It's like, sometimes, in order for characters to evolve, you have to let them evolve.
You have to let
right. You can't just let.
Good.
Do you want Peter to actually grow up, be a man, get married to MJ, have kids, and have a better freaking life, or do you want him to be an effing loser for the rest of eternity? Because some of y'all talk like that's the only way to write Spider-Man well, and you're wrong.
And honestly, one of the things that's always stuck with me ever since I was a child is, I forget who said it. Lots of people say it. I don't remember where I heard it, but the worst thing you could ever do creatively is doing the same thing twice. So a lot of times these swings don't work out, guys. Andrew and I beat our chests to the heavens when they don't. Because a lot of times it's a summer of thin ice, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I respect the attempt at a earnest, genuine big swing. Not like, hey, I'm gonna insert whatever here because whatever, I'm stupid. But like, hey, I want to genuinely try something fresh that I feel still works within the scope of this character, but is going to move them along. That I respect. Yes. Sometimes it doesn't land. Sometimes you take that big swing, you are swinging for the fences, you're swinging for the lights above the fences, and sometimes you just whiff.
A great example, I believe, wasn't it Nick Spencer writing it, but the John being taken into the future, right? Like John Kent, little John Kent being abducted by Jor-El.
By Jor-El, yeah.
Off, like, it did not work, and we're still dealing with the repercussions. I will not fault Spencer for doing something, right? Mm-hmm. Like, okay, yes, Jor-El maybe wasn't the right vehicle, neither was John, but you tried.
All you had to do was utilize the Legion of Superheroes, really.
Really, God, man, like, it's so weird how pivotal they are to everything, and how they just can't latch.
And it would have been this nice parody too of, you had young Clark go on adventures with the Legion of Superheroes. So now his young son went on some adventures with the Legion of Superheroes. So he could learn a lot of things if he did that. And it's like poetry.
So cool.
It rhymes.
It rhymes. That's a clip we absolutely need. Oh man, but yeah.
John Kent's the key to all of this.
He's the key to all. He's the key to all of it. I don't know. We went into the writing room one day and we said, "Hey George, what if we named him Super Bad Guy?" And we all laughed, and he went, "Oh no, that sounds great."
Mm-hmm.
What was that name? I think it was for Sidious. I think it was like Darth Ouch, or like Dark. It was something really dumb, like Darth Icky. Or Darth Ick or something.
No. That was okay. So I actually have told this story
this
a number of times, because I remember reading the issues of, I think it was told in Game Informer, and it was also, I think, told in the official Star Wars magazine, but I might be misremembering
to Force
that.
Unleashed, huh?
Yeah, it was for Force Unleashed. So they were asking, asking George if he was okay, like if they could get his blessing to give Star Killer the Darth like prefix, right? And I think they hadn't come up with the Star Killer moniker yet for that. So I think he was just Galen Merrick at the time. So his actual name. And he responded.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. He
with like totally. He could be like Darth Icky or Darth Insanius. And when I read that, I was like, man, this man is so checked out of this franchise right now. He does not give a single solitary riffing crap.
I took it that way, but also like he doesn't give a crap, and it's to the point where like he loves I think George does, but he loves his
Sure,
vision
it's his
for Star
baby.
Wars, right? So like to him going, he's taking from all those old like pulp serials and stuff where they have all these dumb Superman, right? Like literally, I can see him being like, yeah, that's a good name. The problem is like, yes, George, maybe by the way you originally viewed it with all of your CGI monsters, but it's kind of evolved. Like even off of Return of the Jedi, it's evolved past that point. Like you're being a little like go back to your food court orange chicken, George. But yeah, new butler coming. We'll see what happens. It's Jorge Jimenez art. I can never be mad about that.
As long as you're giving me more Jorge Jimenez and the story's solid,
right?
Like it's going to be hard to upset me. Okay.
We have a long time no see viewer in the house. We've got Trace saying, on Brazilian artist drawing Zatanna. Isn't Guillaume March Brazilian or like Latin American?
Guillaume March?
Yeah. Because I only bring that up because he did a great Zatanna cover this week, and
I'll double check actually.
But yes, Trace, as Andrew was saying at the top, any Brazilian artist drawing pretty much any character is going to be a winner in art.
No, he's Spanish.
Oh, he's Spanish. Okay,
he's
you know what?
Spanish. So he's one of the Spaniards that are in comics right now because he's one. Carlos Gomez is Spaniard, so he's over there as well.
Is? I thought he was in Mexico.
Nope, he's over in Spain.
And that's not even me trying to like make a joke or be like I genuinely thought he was in Mexico. I thought he posted something and he was totally there. My bad.
No, you're good. And then you got frickin'
isn't Iban?
Giada Belvizio over in Italy, and her art is gorgeous.
Yeah, Iban's Spanish too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he's Spanish as well. Yeah, he's not one of the Brazilians. He's one of the Spaniards. So, but man, like all these Latin artists are talented as crap.
They know. They've studied the art. Yes, they know what they're talking about.
They know ball.
Let's see. Yeah, Trey says, I feel like George Lucas would love the Robot Masters of the Mega Man series. Yeah, just Fireman. It's poetry. Dude, oh my God, Andrew, he loves the American names because he's like rock and roll and blues. It's poetry.
It rhymes.
And the enemy is named bass. That's lower on the octave. It's poetry.
Yep. and his dog that looks like a wolf is named Trouble.
Oh my God. And blues and trouble, they're opposite. I can't believe it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Mikel Janin. I love Mikel Janin. I hate that he was on the Mr. Mirror. He keeps getting paired with Tom King. We say that with like multiple artists, but Mikel gets.
I was gonna say that's like anybody that gets paired
times
with Tom King. Like, just stop pairing any artist worth a damn with Tom King. Like, pair Scott Collins with Tom King. That's fine.
Cool. Yeah, let them go hang out. I'm fine with that. You can get Giuseppe over there too, right?
Or and what's his face? Greg Land, right? Get him over there.
Man, guys, I was rereading not the Matrix stuff, but the Angel, I guess is right. That's what they call that saga, the Peter David saga, where Matrix becomes Linda again. So I was rereading the Angel saga recently. Do not ask me why. So this is what I was saying before we came on, as we were like leading into or coming out of the intro. For some reason last week when I was on my road trip, I just read a bunch. I did how do you put it? I started at the end point of these. I'll just explain what I mean. I have had on my phone for a long time the world's finest or the DC finest collection of the Matrix Angel saga. And it's kind of a big file. It's like 2 gigs. So it's taking up a lot of space on my phone. So I went, you know what? It's here. I'll read it. The girlfriend and I are driving through like those parts of Middle Cal that have like nothing in it and no signal or anything.
Oh, yeah. I do. I'm well acquainted.
So it's like I can't bug Andrew on Discord. I can't go on Twitter. And I might as well just read comic books. So I was reading that, and in it, I forget. Oh, in it, she eventually confronts that whole saga spins out of Final Night. And I went like, man, I haven't read Final Night in so long, and this series keeps referencing it so hard. So then I go to Final Night, and then I go, man, where was Hal at this point? Because it was after he killed everybody, but before he reignites the sun. So I was like, I guess I'll read Emerald Twilight. And so I read Emerald Twilight. And then I went, well, the trade for Emerald Twilight, the first issue picks up right after the bombing of Coast City. And I'm like, well, I need to read the bombing of Coast City. So now I'm reading Reign of the Supermen. So I've just been like going backwards to get all of the proper context for the fact that like Linda Danvers was a satanic murder cult killer. It's such a weird line, but
Yeah.
Matrix is coming back, guys. That's the entire reason I was reading it. Sophie Campbell said Matrix is coming back, and we're not reading that series. God, no. It's not a good book.
No, it's
I would
awful,
be lying if Andrew and I said we weren't like it's Matrix Watch over here, right? Like who remembers Matrix except for me and him? So we'll see. Pakistani guy will let me know. All right, Andrew. I think that's we got to the chat. We got to everything. Oh, I just want to brag real quick because it's related to everything. Then we can get into comics. See this card right here?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's Spidey.
That's Spidey. Art by Paulo Rivera, who is an amazing comic book artist. He does a lot of the like painted stuff. This card. So when I was out this last week, hanging out with the girlfriend doing stuff, when she was busy, I would take the time and go to various comic book stores, game stores, just to see, go through their bins. Maybe there's something they have that my stores don't, who knows. Went to a store, was going through their, a lot of you out there who frequent stores may have seen this. Bulk, you go to like a card store, they have like bulk bins where they'll open a bunch of booster packs, probably take out like the 2 rarest cards and then just throw everything else into a bin. And you can go through it for like, every card is a cent or 5 cents, whatever. They don't care about it. This son of a bitch is a $20 card, easy. It was in a freaking like bulk bin. And I'm like flipping through. I know. And you know what it is, Andrew? You know what it is? It's the fact that nobody likes this set. And me included. That's why he did not know what he had. And I took I had a bunch and I took them up to the counter. And I was like, please just like do the thing where you go, oh, you've got this many? We'll charge flat. They didn't. The guy started like taking out certain prints where he's like, oh, this is different. Like this looks like it could be valuable. And he was running it online. And I was like, I saw him coming to this card. I'm like, please, like, if you know what it is, you're going to take it from me and you're going to charge me $20. And he just like flips it. And then he puts another card in that pile. And I'm just like, I just robbed this place. Cause then the whole total was like $30 for like, a couple, like a giant stack of cards. So I just wanted to brag.
I know what that's like. That makes
cool.
it really easy to throw together, decks for like, cause I've had those nights hanging out with buddies. Like I have a buddy who was an old roommate of mine. Kevin, he and I used to, in fact, I think you might have played Fortnite with us before. Now that I think about it. But like he and I would play Pokemon and we'd play Yu-Gi-Oh together a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes just having a crap ton of cards that you got from one of those like kind of bargain bins that you like say, hey, you know what? Let's just like go through these and throw together a couple of
like
decks,
whatever,
right?
Yeah.
And just see what we can come up with in the course of an hour or so, and then just like play some rounds.
Yeah,
right?
It's
like
fun.
that's fun.
It's a lot.
And it's also a lot cheaper than the decks that we built specifically to go to tournaments. So thankfully, the deck that I built for Pokemon, which was my Mega Rayquaza deck, is worth significantly more now.
Oh, look at me! I'm Mr. King shit. I got my Pokemon.
I don't know.
That one's different. I give you a pass on that one because that was when you were playing, which was after like those base set releases and everything. So
yeah,
you get a slight pass, but we see you. All right, Mary, Trace, you two and me. When Andrew becomes like a super baller, I don't care. You don't get a say here. We all get one present, and we get to decide what it is. And we say, you buy that for me.
You got it.
Mr. Millionaire.
All right.
All right. Well, all of that aside, I'm sure everybody's sick of hearing about magic on a comic book show. So, Andrew, what do you say
Let's
we
get into
some
some
comic
comics.
books?
Heck yeah, let's get into some comics.
Where do you want to start this week? We've got lots of things we could quick hit-ish. Some things I could just show off and update you on.
So the most important books to hit are Venom
Absolutely.
and Superman. Absolute Wonder Woman was, as usual, good, but there isn't that much to talk about with it.
It's a lot
not
of,
right now.
yeah,
it's kind of
a
an
lot of
interim. Yeah, there's a lot of setup right now. It's an interim thing setting up stuff for the later part of this arc.
Because I mean, we just got done with the big fight, right? With the Suicide Squad. Technically, yeah, that was the Suicide Squad, and Zatanna and Zatara. So
I think there's actually probably a decent amount to talk about in Amazing Spider-Man.
It's so crazy, guys. He's not lying. There actually is stuff to talk about,
which is weird.
Amazing Spider-Man.
It's weird when I say it out loud
and say it positively. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing I think is going to really surprise all of you as we get into let's start there. Let's get into issue 29 of Joe Kelly's Spider-Man run. I only set that up weird because I needed the second to find it, but here we are, everyone. Andrew kind of set the stage a little bit talking about Venom, but we are officially out of the, oh my God, what was it called? Death Spiral. I was going to call it Death Circle. That's how little of an impact that event made on me. So here we are. Death Spiral. By little, you mean over. None? Whatever. There's a new Torment villain. Aren't you super excited, Andrew? His sister knows how to use the spiral power. What? I don't even want to get into it.
It's really cool. I
know.
I don't care.
So with Torment being taken off the board and Death Spiral officially closed, we are in the lead up time, right? Essentially, we're Wally Beasing right now in Amazing Spider-Man, where
we kind of are.
Queen in Black's about to start, right? I think that's next month or July. So we got one more issue of Venom till that starts, three or four of Spider-Man until that starts. And as we'll get into, while Venom is the really hard lead-in, like that's the thing that's going to be included in the omnibus, Spider-Man, he's got to tread water. You've got 4 issues to pan out, or 2 or 3.
Yeah, because there's so many. Yeah, there's like 2 issues coming out a month.
Yeah, and that's, with that, you got to find something to fill the time. So everybody right now, you have the privilege, if you're reading Spider-Man, of experiencing your first, like, truncated Wally Bees. Like, this is actually Wally Bees in its purest distilled form, where big events coming, everything's going to shake up. What do we do in the meantime? We have to do books, but we can't do anything too way crazy, right? We got to keep it a little local, and that gets weird, because that's, like, where comic books are nowadays. We expect ever-increasing odds, for better or worse. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, Andrew. But, Andrew, what do you want to say about Spider-Man before we get into it?
I will say I had 0 expectations going into this book, because Amazing Spider-Man it's had some genuinely solid moments over the last months, but overall it's been pretty mid. It's not the worst run on Amazing Spider-Man ever, but it's also nowhere near the best. It's also nowhere near particularly good. It's just kind of been aggressively mid.
It's it's under Nick Spencer's for me, which I'm not the biggest fan of Nick's. Like, you and I like Nick's attempt to, give the finger to editorial and go, I'm doing Peter MJ, go to hell.
Yeah.
For better, like, even when...
And I think the stuff that he did that was, like, MJ, it was, like, the B plot to that was having MJ going to that, like... it was almost like AA meetings, but it was like the group counseling for the people who are regular civilians and they're in romantic relationships with these superheroes.
It wasn't just romantic. It was like, somebody close to me is a superhero.
Right. Yeah. And that was like a super interesting concept. And I think he was tackling it in a more interesting way than, like, say, Tom King tackled the mental health thing with Heroes in Crisis.
It's so much better.
It was it was a similar territory, but one of them was interesting, and the other one was only interesting on paper and crap in execution.
Yeah, that's a really good way to, yeah, only interesting on paper. For those of you who don't remember, what Andrew and I are talking about is Jarvis, Avengers Butler, hosts a regular weekly therapy session or like a group, yeah, not therapy, but yeah, support group meeting, I guess is probably the best way to put it, for people who are, my best friend is a superhero, my wife, my husband, my mom, and, it lets them talk to others and, get things like how afraid they are or how proud that, like, things they can't normally talk about. And the way Spencer pulled it off was everybody, it's a remote thing, right? Everybody sort of logs in on a digital avatar and your faces are scrambled. You have no idea who the hell you're talking to. And sometimes if they want to, they'll volunteer some information. And but you don't have to. And I remember that because, and this is also why I know it's not romantic, one of the members is Genki. Like Miles' friend, and he specifically says, like, my best friend is Spider-Man, and I like swing between like envy and like fearing for his life because I know what he has to do. So it was a really cool concept, and I'm always a sucker too, Andrew, for those little bits that just make the world feel more like alive and connect. Like things are going on when we're not looking at these characters. You know what I mean? And it's all these different, like there were some X-Men people and like Blade or what, like I like that. I like that in anything. But more to the point, yes, the Nick Spencer run is better than this. And yes, while the MJ stuff was great, let's not forget the A plot, which was Kindred, which was oh my God, how bad was that? Like Harry Osborn.
That was awful.
They literally had to retcon it to like, oh, it wasn't Harry. It was a demon pretending to be Harry because
that was genuinely bad.
I will give it one piece of credit, Andrew, which is at least that story I think it made everybody realize that there is nothing left to do with Harry Osborn. Like
there isn't.
I'm sorry. Like I know you and I are such big advocates of, we were just talking about it, right? Like play the cards where they're dealt. Good writers can take any concept and there's just nothing left to do with Harry. We've literally, sure, have him alive and hanging out or whatever, but he's been a villain. He's been an ally. He's been a good friend, a bad friend, a friend who's helpful, a friend who neglects you, a lover, a not love. Like, it's just there. I don't know what to do anymore. Or not that, like, there's nothing to do. No. So just bye, Harry. We're good without you. However, even though Harry doesn't have anything left, Spider-Man surprisingly does. As Andrew and I have been talking about these last few weeks, we get a new supervillain in this issue of Spider-Man. And you know what, guys? I can only speak for myself. I haven't actually talked to Andrew about it. I kind of dig it. I'm kind of really on board with what we're doing here. I'm
here for it because here's the thing. Like right now, my general view on the Marvel comic universe right now is just one thought: get me to Queen in Black. That's really all I give a damn about right now. Like, get me to Queen in Black, get me to Al Ewing team back up with Iban Coelho again. Like, that's what I'm looking forward to most right now. Ultimate Universe 6160 let me down so hard that I'm like, I thought I had dropped Ultimate from my pull list, and like it was in my box, and I was like, whatever. I guess I'll just grab it. Because I was too lazy to like pull up my phone and check like my last email exchanges with like updating my pull list and things like that. And I'm like, whatever. I make enough money that $5 isn't gonna, cause me to lose my mind. But
Mr. King! Oh, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. Let's. So, but like I'm getting that, and
while I'm flipping through penny boxes of magic cards, Mr. Millionaire. No, I'm kidding.
This issue, number 24, is the last issue of Ultimates, right? And so now that's done. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
No, you do.
I'm not picking up Endgame because I genuinely don't give a crap anymore.
There's going to be like a finale issue for everything.
If you tell me there's the Fallout issue, I don't.
No,
care.
No, not Ultimate. Wait. I don't know if it's called I don't know what that is. Okay, so Ultimate Fallout. That's a thing they've talked about. I don't know whether that's like
because that's the whole thing with like the box things.
Okay,
the origin boxes or origin cube, whatever they're called.
That's the description for the story, right? Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if they, you know how they love to take like, oh, it's a story name, but now it's the book name. No, that's just the colloquial name. So, not that stuff, not the Miles stuff, but every issue they announced, and this is an add-on, like every one of the core, so Ultimate, Spider-Man, X-Men, Black Panther, they're each getting like a next step. It's got some subtitle, but it's like Ultimate's, like farewell issue, I think is what it's called, and it like sets up. I don't know what it is, but everyone is getting them. So Spider-Man will get one. You'll probably go back just for that one because it's Spidey, and at the very least, we can trust him.
Is Chichetto drawing it?
I believe, yeah. Everybody's on. It's all the same teams. They're not swapping.
Okay, so like Hickman's writing it and Chichetto's drawing it.
Yeah. So
if that's the case, if it's only if and we'll take this back to geometry, okay? If and only if it is Hickman and Chichetto for the whole damn issue, I will grab that. Otherwise, I'm out. I'm checked out of Ultimate. It sucked.
It's so
at the end it sucked. It was so good for so long, and then it sucked.
I have not bought the last 4 issues of Ultimates. I didn't buy the last 3 of Wolverine. I haven't bought any of Endgame since like number 2. Like I'm complete. My guy at my comic book store, he's like, "Oh, you don't have Endgame in your stack this week," and I was like, "I don't care. Like I'm out." And he's like, "At the finish line?" And I'm like, "Do you remember how I didn't pick up the last few Ultimates?" Or like, yeah, finish line.
Yeah.
He's like, "That."
I don't care about the finish line now,
I know,
dude. Issue 2 checked me out of Endgame so hard.
And it pisses me off too because the death of Peter could have been like, I'm not against it, honestly, and I'm not against like the Maker's Carnage. I think it could have worked. You didn't make it work though. Like you just did it in the shittiest, slapdashiest way possible with like no reverence, no anything. He
it
died.
Felt like a shock value scene that you put into a C tier horror movie just to try and get some pops out of your audience.
Not to like draw discourse up because I'm just going very, very surface level. But you said that, and it reminds me of like in The Boys, right? They'll introduce like a celebrity at like a big name celebrity is playing like the piss shooter or whatever, and it's a cool like design or whatever, and you're like, "Hi, I'm Ryan Gosling," or like and then dead,
and then they'll kill him in like some shock value way, right?
Which is like cool, like that.
I don't care about shock value. Shock value,
exactly.
I see shock value scenes in media and shock value humor in comedy as things that people who are not capable of actual comedy or capable of actual scenes with weight as something that they rely on. Because they don't know how to make something actually funny. And so they'll just lean towards the darkest, edgiest, most... Oh, wow, I can't believe we just said that, right? Like, that doesn't make it funny. That doesn't make it entertaining. That just means like, oh, like all right.
You're kind of dumb and kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, great.
Yeah.
The only kind of, what was the word you used? Like... Damn it, use the word, but like the specific kind of humor where they try to like
shock value.
Shock value. The only shock I like is when you're like a Gallagher, right? And you're doing like over the top comedy, and like the surprise is like, oh my god, the cake exploded, or like Punked. I can get behind Punked, where like the joke is that you're playing it straight, right? But if you're just doing like, haha, that person exploded and they're dead, like, great. I don't really care about what we're doing here.
Yeah. To me, it's just not interesting.
But what is kind of interesting, Amazing Spider-Man. Enough of staring at this cover. It's actually a pretty good cover. I did not realize until right now, this is Bagley. And it's very surprising that this is Bagley, because Bagley's old now, guys. Like, I love the man's art to death. We were just talking Spider-Man, Thunderbolts. You can tell he's getting old, and he doesn't have the energy to really draw this level of like work intensive pieces he used to.
He's been around.
He's been here forever.
He's not a spring chicken. Like he had already been around when he was drawing this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that he was a superstar artist at that point. I remember that was like the advertising copy. It was like superstar writer Bendis and superstar artist Bagley.
Man, remember when Bendis was considered a superstar writer?
And you know what? I don't even care. Like, he deserved it back then. It is fucking
He did
crazy.
back then. No, he absolutely did back then.
I forget who it was. I think it was Zdarsky. Like, it was one of the last articles I wrote for Bounding before they canned me. He was talking about how, like, one of the big problems with Marvel is that they don't have a direction, like a solid one direction. Nobody is leading the band, and nobody's done that since Bendis. And I'm like... Yeah,
that's
honestly,
painful.
if I think about it, like
that is painful.
Secret War, like Bendis wrote up to like his last issue at Marvel, guys, was, and this breaks my heart, Andrew. It was that secret, like the Ultimate like versus 616 miniseries for Secret Wars, but they fucked up production on that entire event so much, and they delayed it, and they added issues that. So it was supposed to be about like a battle world, or not even a battle world thing. It was just supposed to be his creation, the Ultimate Universe, 1610, 616, they clash. You know, it's the whole that happens in like issue 2, and that's how everybody like survives, like Phoenix and Spidey and Miles or whatever. This 5 issues was supposed to explain it all. All the scheduling got fucked up so badly that not only did they have to change it to like, no, this is just like a random battle world that they're all on. It's not even canon to the battle world stuff. Like, it is a completely irrelevant thing. And I'm like, that sucks so hard, because in theory, you had the perfect setup. Like, 1610's ending, Bendis is on his way out. We have a great moment for him to do like a love letter to all the work he's done and then say goodbye. And it's the equivalent of like, okay, bring him on for one last song. This is going to be the ballad. And you don't readjust the soundboard. You don't shut the lights back down. It's just, what are we doing? Like, why would you do that to Bendis at the time? Of course, he's gone off the rockers and he's not worth it now. And don't even talk about his DC
now he
stuff,
sucks. His DC stuff. Like, I tried to be hopeful for the first couple of issues of Young Justice, and I met the guy and chatted him at my old
Subhuman. Yes.
At my old LCS back in Vancouver. I got a few books signed by him, and he was super kind, super nice. It was pleasant to chat with. I asked him a handful of questions about his plans for the book. And it was a very genuinely pleasant experience. I was like, this wasn't one of those like, oh, I'll never meet a comic book creator type of thing. There are plenty of those out there, but like this wasn't one of them. But unfortunately, the book wound up sucking.
Right, like
like I appreciate that I had that good interaction with the individual, and I won't knock him for that and being a genuine, cool person. But like the book still sucked.
Like, I mean,
two things can be true.
Two things can be true. That's gonna be a shirt, dude. You say that so often, and it applies so often to what we talk about that, like, I'm gonna make that. But
I've gotten so many people to start saying that.
Two things. I need to remember to say that, because I'm not gonna play the clip, but you know me, I'll say that in not as few of a words.
Right? Yeah.
But all right, let's finally crack into this. Let's stop complaining. Let's see what's going on in Spider-Man that has you and I a little upbeat and positive. So, as we were explaining, we just got off of Death Spiral, so there is a bit of an art shakeup going on in Amazing right now. John Romita Jr., for whatever reason, is currently stepping out of the book. He was, when this volume launched, because it's published so frequently, Spider-Man needs at least like 2 main artists on it. So the ones at the beginning of this run were John Romita Jr. and Pepe Larraz. John Romita Jr. is taking a leave, so right now we'll get this issue and the next one by Pete Woods. After that, I forget who it is. I think it's because we went over this, because like we get this arc, then it's like an issue or 2 of another guest artist, and then Ed McGuinness comes on, and he's going to be the stopgap artist. But you and I don't know if we said it on the show, but we're both pretty convinced that they'll just leave him on. Like, he's going to be the new guy to handle it. Because why not? He's amazing at it. Him and Pepe, that would be great. So, in our little interlude, how do you describe this, Andrew? Sort of like it's not a recap, but a sort of...
It's less a recap, and it's more
on
of like...
everything else?
It's the quick version of like, hey, how do we address that Peter's been away for weeks, and people thought he was either dead or ghosting them or whatever, and some of his relationships, his interpersonal relationships, have fallen into disrepair, and he's trying to reestablish those, right?
Yes.
And his method here, the setup is he goes to this coffee shop, he goes to this diner, and the person there that's waiting the table says like, hey, if it's just going to be you, I might have to kick you out or whatever. He's like, don't worry, like there's gonna be plenty of people here, because like he's of course thinking like all these people that I'm about to text are going to show up, right? And that's not the case, because then what we get is this, and I usually hate 9-panel grids, and I still do, but what happens here is Pete messages these various people who he had kind of ghosted for the last several weeks while he was out in space and whatnot, and then dealing with the torment stuff. He messages them. We get various responses that give us just little insights into like, all right, what's this person that is in Peter's life's current like standing in his life? What's their emotional state right now? Like how do they view Peter after his recent absence, right? And we get various degrees of that, ranging from like leaving him on red to piss off to MJ says, I'm just not feeling it right now, and kind of says maybe some other time, and it there's a range, right? And it's mainly just to address very quickly in one page, like how does Peter like reconnect or attempt to reconnect with all these people in his life? Well, he tries to get them to come to
hang out with him,
meet him
at the coffee bean.
At this diner, and that's it.
Which is like, okay, so it's
the quick and dirty version.
It's the quick and dirty version. I feel like we've done this a bunch, obviously, with Peter having to go, oh, let me reconnect. Oh, nobody likes me. Like, it's a very common scene. However, there's something about the way Pete Woods does it here. Like, I'll give Pete Woods a lot of credit. Like, it's a fun version of it, right? And because I think it's only one page and we're not like hanging on it for melodrama, I think I'm cool with it. And I will admit, you mentioned somebody leaves them on red. Did you notice who that was?
I did when I was reading it, but I forget who it was. Wasn't it Shay? Was it Shay? That's fine, because none of us care about Shay anyway. So,
honestly, I
care
more about Shay than like this crappy infantile version of Peter Parker. You know what I mean? Like, So I was like, you know what? Good for you, Shay, even though this is just how they write her out of the book. Again, remember, Andrew brought it up last time. We have not seen her since...
It was like issue 4 of this run.
Peter went to go to Ravencroft to ask her for help as Spider-Man, talking to the Rhino who was all drugged up from the hobby-gobby. So, ridiculous, but whatever. From there, the one person who says, okay, let's meet up, our plans are still on, turns out to be I went to the wrong Zoom page. Why is it only me on this one? That's not the one I want. Hold on, guys. I don't know where Andrew went. There's Andrew. Why am I there? Okay, there we go. Yes. Andrew, or not Andrew. I was going to say Andrew trains with Daredevil. No. Spider-Man reveals that he has a... What? Oh, shoot. I can't hear you now. Why is that?
I was muted because I was coughing.
Oh, okay, good. Woo, that worried me.
I try to quickly mute if I feel a cough coming on. Okay. I actually really liked this double-page spread. Really like this double-page spread. There's a lot going on, like a lot. And I think you mentioned that when we talked about it very briefly before the show.
Yeah.
But it feels genuinely dynamic.
It feels... Pete Wood's art is very dynamic. It feels like the character is alive. Like, even if we go back to, these pages of Peter here drinking, like, he gives him such... I should probably zoom in for this. Like, his expressions are pretty varied, and he feels like, he's slouching in that last one because he's, like, defeated. He's very lively in his art. The only thing I would criticize is kind of what Andrew just said, because I was talking to him about it earlier. It's very noisy, and I think Pete needs a little bit more of like focus. You know what I mean? And
Right.
Admittedly, guys, yes, this page is supposed to be chaotic. He's fighting with Daredevil in a dark warehouse with music blaring and bullets firing all over the place. Sure. But we'll see as we go on that, like, there's a lot of good art in his pages, but you look at it and you kind of get a little, like, overwhelmed, if you will, by kind of how much is, like, what am I supposed to focus on here? So, but yes, great artist. Peter, we learned that Peter has asked to train with Daredevil just to improve his spider sense, but I don't understand where this is coming from.
I don't either. I think the intent was to try and follow up on the whole thing where, like, he feels like he needs to improve and get better. This is us revisiting the Hellgate stuff, I think, honestly.
Like, that's what I thought too. But
like, how are you planning to improve your spider sense? Like, yeah, and honestly, look, Daredevil's a cool character. I'm not going to pretend to be his biggest fan in the world. I'm not going to pretend to be a Daredevil hater either. But this scene is essentially a diet or a light beer version of when Peter was training with Shang-Chi.
Oh my god. I didn't even put that together back during AVX.
Back in Slot's run.
Yeah. That's crazy. Especially because
so the fact that Slot did this,
here, guys,
did any idea better is pretty ridiculous.
That is kind of fucking ridiculous. That
kind of hurts me to say. I'm feeling a little pain in my chest right here. I think my right arm might be going numb.
That was Peter asking Shang-Chi to train his spider sense because he didn't have it at the time. Wasn't that it? Like, didn't he lose it or?
Right. So he had lost his spider sense. And so he was getting trained to actually know, because Peter had been up until that point fighting strictly on instinct, right? Strictly on utilizing his spider sense, right? Where now he was getting trained to actually know how to fight, not just instinct reactiveness, but actually being trained, which was a super interesting idea to me. Really and unfortunately, it didn't go anywhere afterwards.
Well, it did. Because it did one more time in one of, I would say, one of my more favorite issues of that era, which is the one where he teaches Hope spider foo. Remember?
Oh, like, yeah.
That's a really good issue to me. Like, I really like that one because that's Peter. When Peter, like, can be in that, like, adult teacher role, he's super strong as a character. Like, nowadays, Peter, like, he's super strong. And whether it's in, like, the Spider-Girl book, whether it's here, whether it was that short time he was Spider-Man and the, what was it? Like, Spider-Man and the X-Men? Whatever, when he took over Wolverine's job as, like, the teacher. Super fun time. So, yeah, when he was teaching Hope, it really worked. And to what you were saying, he needed to train there during, like, that Shang-Chi training made sense because he didn't have his spider sense. He needed to adapt. Here, he just says, like, I want my spider sense to be better. And,
like, there's no explanation as to, like, how or why that would work, or why just training with Daredevil, like dodging bullets, which is something he already has to do on the regular, would suddenly make it like, okay, you basically just went into practice mode without much of a goal in mind.
Yeah, you kind of just like opened it up like, oh yeah, my friends are going to join me. Like, we're playing Marvel Rivals. My friends will be here in like 10 minutes. I'm just going to open up practice because nothing else to do. Maybe you do a couple moves and then like you forget.
Yeah.
Because you're like, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's I didn't think about that, which is like, okay, so he has like in this scene, he has, you know, all this music blaring, all of these bullets going, Daredevil fighting him, and it's in pitch blackness because he's really trying to push his like spider sense to the limit, right? But I just realized this as you were explaining it, Andrew, like none of that's gonna change. Like him being distracted or things loud or like that's not how his spider sense work. It will.
No, it's not.
It will automatically tell you no matter what's happened. Like Peter knows. There's never, to the credit of pretty much every writer, even the bad ones, I don't think anybody's ever written like oh, I felt spider sense. Nah, it's whatever. I'm not gonna do anything, right? Or like
Yeah, no, like it's always explicitly something that's a direct danger, right? And that's why the whole like what Matt was trying to like potentially teach him here, like with the flashlight, like that was an interesting concept, but they didn't
that.
explore it.
Which
They didn't
is what-
explore it.
what
Like that's
Andrew's
the only
saying is-
thing. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that you could really do to, at least to my mind right now,
Same.
to further evolve his spider sense is like, how do you change how you react to something that's just affecting the spider sense, not even in a danger respect, but to just something that it's setting it off.
Or even like
Right? Your
to
body was
recalibrate to
still
that.
yeah, your body was still reacting to it. There was some smart writing to this.
He mentioned
this
the muscle
sequence.
tightening up here in the neck.
Exactly, because it
Which I like. I was like,
recognized that there was
"Damn, that was
something
sick."
there.
Yeah.
Right,
Of
that's
course,
actually
Daredevil
something
would hear
interesting.
It tense up too. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Very cool.
Again, something to be said about this scene. Like there's actually some smart writing here, but it isn't like preceded by or followed up with
Right.
something that makes it actually come together as something that was worthwhile. It's kind of like this little blip of like, oh, that's interesting amidst things that don't make sense.
Right. And for those who haven't read the issue, what Andrew and I are talking about is on this page, basically Daredevil says like, okay, I shined a flashlight on you. And Pete goes like, why are you flashing that light? And he goes, I'm trying to get you to like dodge the light. Pretend the light is dangerous. And Peter goes like, okay, but it's not. And like, I can feel you turning, like, I know you turn it on, but my body doesn't think it's dangerous. So I don't get it. So he basically tells him like, you need to sort of like read the air currents, the chi almost, you know what I mean? Like you can't just rely on like what you think is dangerous or not. And I will say, as nonsensical as it all was, I did like how Matt explains like, you need to be careful because if you you don't know how this works. And if you mess with how your spider sense works, it could be off to the races. And, you know,
Right.
if I can see it too, like if Peter is training himself to think like a beam of light is dangerous, if he locks in there, now everything's
All of a sudden,
dangerous, right?
everything
Like,
else, could
and
set it
I
off.
can't
Like
handle it.
that's kind of a slippery slope for him. Yeah, no, absolutely. I can see that.
I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, from there, it's a good little scene between the two of them, but then it just really amounts to nothing. So moving past Matt and Pete, we finally go back to Brian, who is still locking him. Like he escaped from the hospital last issue after being exploded by Ben Reilly and infected with a bunch of spores. And as we've seen over these last couple of issues,
Which I'll say this, I hope they don't just leave that. Like it was
What do you
actually
mean?
Ben.
Oh.
It was Ben that did this, and so like you're gonna have to bring him back around at some point.
and have him like
how about
a significant.
can we have
arc
some
with him.
accountability?
Right, like, or Joe, I'm begging you, make all of that weirdness that we've like you commented on it from Ben, right? Like, why would Ben intentionally hurt someone to get
It
to
just
Peter?
seemed like
it's just
deliberately like
misinterpreting. who they're working with.
vile isn't the word, but deliberate. Gosh, mean spirited sounds so like sissy lala,
Yeah,
but that's
I
kind
know,
of what it
but-
freaking was, right? He was just kind of being an ass to be an ass, is how it
But
reads.
it's like okay,
Which seems like counter, or at least out of character
but
to him.
I think here, how do I?
He has a little bit more of an edge than Pete, but it was just like now you're
That's-
just like
that's the thing,
deliberately
right,
being
like-
a jackass.
But see, like, I think he's with the chasm turn. That's sort of been his character, right? Is like, I'm a hero.
I guess that's true.
I'm still nice.
I'm
Hold on,
trying
hold
to
on,
forget
but
that
no,
was a thing.
Here, just hear me out here, because I'm not justifying it, but just hear me out here. So, like, yeah, him being like, okay, I'm nice to Janine, I'm nice to Kane, I'm nice to pretty much everyone. I hate you, Peter. Like, I'm gonna be a dick to you. Like, okay, that I can completely get behind. I can even get behind him sabotaging Peter's work so that if Peter's showing it off, you know, investors meeting, it crumbles, or it says like, you know,
Right.
all the spores spell out profanity and he gets fired, whatever. Doing
Yeah.
something that he knows is going to intentionally, like, critically injure somebody, an innocent,
Right.
just for all that Chasm's a bad guy, that doesn't match his MO, and it just feels so out of left field for him, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully Kelly can make that work. But yeah, I think you're right. We do need to have some arc later on where it comes to a head. But
that circle needs to get closed.
And oh my god, that spiral, if you will.
No.
Hold on, I got a message.
That
I just
hurt.
got to reply to it real quick.
That hurt me.
Yeah, you know what? Just like Brian hurts himself. So yes, guys, we finally see Brian, what's going on with him, which is, you know, he's actually pretty, like, what's the right word, Andrew? Like, conscious, aware of, like,
he's cognizant of what he's got going on with his body.
He's
not
like a goblin, right? Or a symbiote. No. Like, he's pretty in control.
It's not like something's taking over his mind or whatever.
Maybe
right?
We might find out later that they might make him a little more, like they lower his inhibitions, but this isn't a like, I'm making you this way type of thing, which is, it gets interesting as we go here. So we do from there get as Andrew was saying, we're checking in with everybody. We get a check-in with Peter's space crew, which really does not amount to anything aside from confirming they're here and dropping a How I Met Your Mother reference. Like, I'm sorry, I know you and I like talked about this earlier today, but I can't get over it. Guys, so basically what I'm saying
that show ended over a decade ago.
Ray here, Peter gets back to his apartment, checks in with Ray and Glitch and Simbi, and he's like, Ray, do you want to, get some combat training in later, hang out? And she's like, no, I'm like watching, like I am learning How I Met Your Mother. And I'm like, what the, like that show ended 10 years ago. Nobody liked that ending. It's so, it goes beyond the realm of like out of touch. Like, I don't even know what to describe this as, you know what I mean?
This is like I wouldn't even be able to qualify this as like the hey there fellow kids type of a thing. Like, because nobody who was a kid then is a kid now. Right?
It's just, who's the target audience for
nobody's watching that show right now.
I even like to this day when I have friends, family, when it comes in on reruns, they're like, I got to like change it to anything. Like, I can't watch this show because that ending makes me so angry.
No, I can't rewatch it. I freaking loved Barney as a character. I thought he was phenomenal.
Everybody
but the show just like it didn't stick the landing, unfortunately.
And,
like I'll go back and rewatch pretty much all of Seinfeld.
Oh,
like I can rewatch Seinfeld all day. I can just put that on perpetually because that's my all-time favorite sitcom. Because Jerry Seinfeld is my all-time.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. I like that.
And
what happened? I like
Seinfeld is my all-time favorite comedian as well because though he'll sometimes like get a little in there, he still manages to be funny without having to be like. And I'm no prude, but he doesn't have to be overtly crass or overtly vulgar because he's just being clever. He's being clever funny, or it's in the delivery of something that he's saying.
And that's a dying breed of comedian, very much so.
Well, you just don't have them anymore. You just don't. Everybody's like hyper crass.
But they're all old. You know what I mean? Like, they're all that dying breed. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
And like, to your point about, Neil Patrick Harris, Barney, she literally says here, guys, in the bottom, like, shh, the sad man Barney is trying to make a meaningful connection with a life partner. I think he will succeed this time. And it's like, what is the idea of like aliens saying something obvious? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's what they're trying to do, but it's so lame. Like,
it really is. It comes off so lame.
It's not even like dad, like grown dad. It's like a.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you know what I mean? Like, it's so bad. From there, we check in with Spidey. He goes to Robbie Robertson and says, hey, can you give me some help with finding that cousin of mine that Torment apparently knew? And Robbie says, sure. Not a lot in this scene outside of that. Really good character interactions between the two of them. And
it was a solid interaction. I liked it.
I thought he knew. I already thought he knew.
I kind of did too. And so I was initially confused and I wasn't, in a position where I was like, I'm gonna go deep dive
Yeah.
in to see like if Robbie has actually learned Pete's identity as Spidey at some point in
Because it
the
doesn't
publishing
matter that
history.
much, but it's just like
It doesn't.
I
But what I do especially like here
yeah.
with it is that it also kind of like, I don't know, I don't think it was intentional, but it does remind me of like that first arc on Al Ewing's All New Venom, where like Robbie like knew some things about some players in this sphere, right? And
Yeah.
then he was also being considered as potentially one of the people, like, as hey, are you the new Venom type of thing? So it was all they're still playing with the secret identity thing here,
But he's like
and
he's
and
like
I
a
enjoy
ground
that.
team member on it. Yeah, Robbie might be the last interesting person to have like secret identity drama with Peter that works. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like anybody else,
He
I'm
might
not gonna
be.
care. I'm not gonna
He
care.
honestly might be.
From there, we swing over to the Feast Center where MJ and what is his name? I never remember it. She introduces
Randall
Peter.
or Randy or something like that.
Ricardo Bernal. You were
Oh,
close.
yeah.
You were
That was my third guess.
you mashed them up. But yeah, so her Ant-Man, her boyfriend, are there to start cleaning up the Feast Center, rebuilding it post Torment fight. I don't know, this felt weird to me. They get a volunteer, and the volunteer sort of like shocks Aunt May so much because he reminds her of Ben. And I was just like, okay.
Well, because I think this is the cousin.
Is that who it is?
I think
genuinely
that's
can't
how I
tell.
read it.
I
That's how I
thought
read it.
might
I
be
read it
him.
as that's who was supposed to be, but then like he says his name, or people call me Mac or whatever. He says something
Yeah.
like that, and I'm like, was that who the person's name
That's a
was
good
in the
point.
other issue?
I
And I
should
was
have
too
gone-
lazy to go look back
I don't care that much. Yeah, but like, okay, you might be right. The only
because the
reason-
whole
so,
like long lost familial thing is so played
Oh,
out
and
to
then-
me. Like I don't
I know.
actually care
I
about
really.
this plot
We've
thread.
been here, especially with Spidey. Like,
Yeah,
I
His
don't.
sister.
I don't, Andrew. I can't go through Richard and Mary Parker again. Like,
I just don't care. Yeah, I
can't
really
go
don't
through,
care.
Like, they're a clone. They're a robot. They're alive. They're a clone. They're a clone. They're a robot. Like, I can't do it anymore, man. I'm tired. But the only reason, like, I initially thought he was the cousin, but he's like, it's such little fanfare, even from like the art, that I was like, is this just a guy and they're introducing?
I was
somebody
kind
to
of
have, like,
confused with
drama?
the art.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Oh, and then the art,
Like-
the whole thing about her getting like startled or whatever, it doesn't communicate up there. I think
Visually, it's a miscommunication between both the art and the dialogue in terms of like the panel structure here, where it doesn't feel like she actually got startled. Like it didn't read that at all. I just read it as kind of like, oh, hi, like somebody's here.
I initially read it as like, oh, somebody's here, hello, and she like kind of like gets like empty, like absent-minded for a second, right? Like, oh, hello,
Yeah.
like because she was so surprised anybody was coming to volunteer, and so the thing was just falling. And so then when she was like, no, you just remind me of some, I was like, what? Also,
And that's where the hint for me was that like, oh, that must be like where they're thinking, okay, this is the cousin or whatever, right?
dude, it's Ben and May's kid. That's it. That's why she goes, that's why he's a cousin to Peter. And that's why she goes, you remind me so much of Ben.
No.
I know, I don't want it. I
No.
just realized that. Realized that.
No.
Yeah, so this
I don't want it.
storyline sucks. I have nothing
don't
more to
want it.
add here. Let's keep
If
going.
that's what we're doing, I don't want it. Yeah, let's
let's
move on.
So with Peter's apology tour, he eventually gets to Brian, and Brian says, yeah, man, come hang out with me. Let's, I've got all of the Rand Industry team. We're all going to talk, but we're going to go do it at this, like, pizza adventure, like, land, like a Chuck E. Cheese type place. And as he gets there, he realizes that Brian has essentially abducted everyone, and he's now, like, controlling them with his spores, making fun of them.
I'm kind of personally surprised that we didn't like stretch that out a little bit more of like, I don't know. It feels like it just kind of gave it away so quickly that like, oh, he automatically like this quickly has all these people under his control already.
So The only
instead of like letting us sit with it with Peter for, I don't know, an issue or half an issue instead
I'll
of
give
just
you a
0 pages.
slight. This is sort of what we've been like. We haven't seen him a lot through all of the torment stuff, but remember we kept checking in on him in the hospital, and we slowly saw, oh, he's starting to get this control. Oh, this is starting to happen. And then when we go to the beginning of this issue, when the delivery guy shows up, like we can see that Brian has just been like stuck in his house, like in his filth, experimenting. He's cutting off his finger. So like, yes, it's a little fast, but I also think that it works, I guess, where we are. Maybe if it was in a different like story or a different medium, I would be more against it. But I think it worked here because I don't think there's not a lot you can milk out of that, right? We've seen what like a villain who gets mind control powers, like what they do. We've kind of been there. We've seen the experiment. So I'm cool with like kind of skipping all of that. And because we gave it enough issues, right? Not like it was like 2 issues and he's here. But it's been about 2 months since Death Spiral started. In universe, I'm cool with it. I see where you're coming from, but I think I'm okay with it, like here. But from there, yeah, we kind of just learn, Brian he's kind of like feeling himself, essentially. He's like, well, I got these powers now. I'm in control. Like, nobody's going to make fun of me anymore. And you're not going to like run over me, walk over my work. Because if you guys remember, everybody liked Pete more than Brian at Rad. They were like, you're going to be CEO. You're going to be like the promotion. And Brian was getting pissed. So this is where I found this really interesting. And I don't know why I did, but we'll see. So Brian uses his spore powers and he goes, tell me why you did it. Tell me everything that happened. Like, why, Peter, did you sabotage me? And Pete, he literally blurts out, like, the first thing he says is like, it wasn't me. It was Ben Reilly, my clone. Or no, well, does he punch him first or does he do it? No, I thought he says it first. He says Ben, I thought, out loud. It's right here. Yeah,
he says like that was Ben, my clone. Like that was because that was the compelling from the spores and all of that Brian has going on.
Yes.
Right, and so that was Pete's reaction to that. And then Brian, after that, he freaking clocks straight.
Well, Brian first is like, clone, like, I don't have these powers perfectly down yet. This is ridiculous, right? And I'm like, that's it. Like, he can't believe that. He thinks Peter's talking shit, but it's not. Yeah. That's actually what happened. And I really like that. But then we get this moment where Peter's like, I want to tell him everything. Like, I'm about to like spill my guts that I am Spider-Man, that I've been fighting Hellgate, that I have a clone. And he's fighting it. And instead of like fighting mentally, he just lets loose, like by accident. And he just, fight back. His body just goes. And he lashes out at Brian. And he takes out like, he even says like, that's a hit that I would feel bad laying on Juggernaut. And I hit it on like a normal human being. And obviously it like obliterates half of Brian. But he lives because he's made up of a bunch of spores. And that is where we end this issue. So I know we've kind of spent a lot of time on it. You and I went on some tangents. But essentially, we're Wally Beezing it with Spore right now. Yeah. I kind of like him as a villain. He feels very 80s comic book, 70s comic book. And
well, it kind of feels like, I don't know, it actually kind of feels like a Smallville episode almost.
It really does feel like a CW episode of something, right? And
which I'm totally good with because I love Smallville. Mary and I are currently going through Smallville. She's never seen it before.
Where are you guys now?
So I think we have 4 episodes left in season 3.
Oh, shit. You're about to get to like the best parts of it. Season 4 and 5.
It's 4 and 5, man. Like,
I know. I want to end
6 is rough. 6 is rough. But then after 6, I don't know what was going on in season 6, but like then season 7 through the rest of the series like has such good stuff.
Well, that's when they finally were like, okay, season 6 was bad. We have to pull I think we have to pull the cord. Everybody's like,
yeah,
pull the Lois Lane cord. Like it's time to pull the Lois Lane cord. And that saved it. It legitimately saved it.
Erica Durance is my Lois Lane. And John Snyder is my John Kent.
Oh, he's my John Kent.
Annette O'Toole is my Martha Kent.
Like always. I've always been I've never had a solid Lois, but I have to admit, dude, what's her name? From the movie, from Gunn's movie, Rachel, whatever.
Oh, Rachel Brosnahan. She
yes.
did do a very good job.
I
Like
think
absolutely a very
and, like,
good
I'm
job.
not arguing against Eric. Like she's a great one, but like to me, I'm just like that's Lois right out of the comics. Like that's
Yeah, no, that
Lois
I
Lane,
can't disagree
right?
with that at all. I can't disagree with that at all. She was fantastic.
Movie, we were like, that's a Lois who's gonna throw herself out of a window to get the attention of
to just like prove
Superman.
that like, oh, you are actually Superman. Yeah, she's gonna be the one to
Superman
do that for sure.
interview. All right, so that's where we got with Spider-Man. Something, and this is what Andrew and I were talking about. Something interesting is finally happening. In a vacuum, this Spore stuff is kind of cool. Like as a villain, whatever, I like the healing aspect. It's, and you know me, Andrew, I love my body horror, so I'm all about that. And it's like, I'm interested by that, but it's sort of like, I know what it's all in service of. Can we just get to Queen in Black? I don't know. It's a weird spot to be in,
It's, I mean, you said it already. We're Wally Bees right now.
We really are Wally Bees. I also will say, before we move on, last thing to say, Pete's punching O'Brien here, where he's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Like, that was an accident. That reminded me of Spider-Man versus Wolverine, where Spider-Man kills the woman because she, like, intentionally tricked him and he thought he was punching Wolverine. Yeah. Don't know if that was intentional, but I picked up on that. Okay. I need to go to pee really quick because I've been drinking an energy drink.
Sounds good.
I will leave my headphones in. So 1, what book do you want to hit next? 2, let's
hit prime time.
Good people. All right, we'll go to prime time next, and while
we'll hit prime time and we'll wrap up with Venom.
There we go. All right, I'll be right back, everyone.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my time where I get to do and say whatever the hell I want. So I will say thank you once again for the 8 millionth time to everybody who supported my Ripazine number 5 with my introductory first published short story and comic book, Blue Shift Tryouts. An extra thank you to those of you who have followed up on that and pre-ordered Arcstring False Start number 1, which is the first issue of the actual main full book that came about because you guys had such a strong response to the announcement of my character. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you all. Make sure, as always, you are subscribed to Room of Requirement, as Spencer said earlier, where Mary and I are dropping Harry Potter lore videos. We're having a ton of fun over there with that. Just as I'm having a ton of fun with you guys chatting comic books over here, I would say it is, if you're not careful, if you're not vigilant, constant vigilance, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know that reference. Specifically, if you're a fan of the books, it's not in the movies, unfortunately. It's depressing because Mad Eye Moody is a fantastic character. It can be easy to fall into the trap of everything is awful, everything new, every new idea is bad, everything new is the worst thing that ever came out. That's hyperbole and nonsense. And for the vast majority of the cases, it's not even true, not even remotely true. There are a lot of genuinely good comics right now coming out of the mainstream. And that's important. It's actually important because it's good for the health of the medium. It's good for the health of the industry at large. And I, as someone who am now a comic book writer, I want to be competing with people who are like writing characters that have far more notoriety and iconography than anything I could hope to create, and them doing it at a level that like they're doing very well, right? Like I want people who are reading American comic books to say, man, like I'm loving the latest Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and whatever else, right? But they're also saying, but man, like I'm kind of digging this Arcstream book as well. So my book is included in their polls, right? Like I want to be competing with and included alongside books of characters who are far more established from mine when they're doing well. And this is why I've never, ever, even though like Spencer and I, and welcome back, bud, have talked about like how we've had some ups and downs with Flash books and things like that over the last few years, and how we're kind of in this place right now where like we're not really hyper digging any of them, Like I just dropped the main one. I dropped it off my pull list. I said, I'm done. I'm done.
An issue and a couple pages, guys. Like,
yeah, I wasn't even. I was like a third of the way through the second issue of this run. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not enjoying this. Like,
no.
And if there are people who are, more power to them. That's fine. I just wasn't, and I'm in a like thin ice point with just about every comic book. If something just disappoints me for 2 issues in a row, all right, fine. I'm done. Like if I hear that it does well after the fact, maybe I'll pick up the trade. Like I will inevitably pick up the trades for Flash because I have every Flash trade. Yeah, I'm a completionist with that. So I will pick them up and I will read them at some point. But I've never once pitched my Speedster Stories with Zephyr as an alternative to the Flash. I've never once pitched it as like, hey, do you think that the Flash books suck right now? You should read my book. Because 2 things. One, what if there are people who don't think that the Flash books suck right now and they're enjoying them, but they're initially open to just reading other Speedster characters because like me, they like Speedsters.
Yep.
Yeah. And so a great way to not get people to check out your stuff is to tell them that the thing that they enjoy sucks. Right? So, hey, maybe I'm not enjoying it right now, and I personally think it sucks, but I'm not going to pitch my book to you in a way that's like, hey, the Flash sucks right now, so you should read mine instead. I'm going to say, hey, if you enjoy Speedster characters in that power archetype, if you enjoy Heart of Gold characters, that archetype, this is the book for you, right? We could disagree all day long on whether or not one particular run on a book is good or not. That's irrelevant. We, at the end of the day, like the same thing in that we like the Speedsters. We like the Heart of Gold characters. And so this is for you. And I'm going to pitch it that way. And the other bit being, what happens inevitably when all of a sudden another Mark Waid comes along and writes a generational run on the Flash, right? And all of a sudden the Flash
is good.
Not only doesn't suck, but is also just incredible. So my entire reason for my book existing at that point disappears because I pitched it as an alternative. My book is only valid because the thing that's actually bigger and has more notoriety and iconography sucks. Well, that's a stupid way to pitch your thing. Pitch it on its own merits.
I mean, a really good example of this, guys, and I won't get into the fight of it all, but notice how, as Andrew said, books are getting better. How's Comicsgate doing? You know what I mean? I said, how's Comicsgate doing? With all those alternatives. The only thing I will say to everything, Andrew was completely right. But when he said sometimes, new things aren't the worst thing, I'll just say Hostilicus is something.
It's a thing.
Yeah. I just wanted to get a dig in with the Miles Morales crap.
Right.
And honestly, okay, I read this issue, whatever they do with most of the boxes, but it's like this, they literally named the bad guy Hostilicus. It's the George Lucas thing. When we were doing
that's the Dark Insanius.
Yes,
that's the Dark Icky. What are we doing here?
Marvel's just doing it now. All right, let's see. But aside from Marvel, we're going to make a quick, or do you want to do Venom since we're on Marvel and then end with Primetime? Or do you want to really save Primetime or Venom for last? Doesn't matter to me.
You know what? We are already in Marvel. Let's just do it.
Let's get over to Venom
Let's just
mode.
freaking do it.
All right, guys. We've been talking about it all night. Here we are. Venom 258.
Gomez MJ.
It's insane, guys. Andrew
that
and I have
man is a maniac.
Andrew and I have go look through the archives. Andrew and I have regularly been like, this is borderline not safe for work, at least for us. I'll be in my bunk, but this issue,
I need a minute.
Gomez goes above and beyond with his art on MJ. Additionally,
he really does.
I'll say this: Ewing's writing in this issue goes so this is what I'm here for. You know what I mean? Forget all of the Torment and Death Spiral stuff and the Madame Mask stuff. The deep psychological stuff here, this is what I need from an MJ Venom thing, because
Yeah.
as you and I talk about all the time, their entire relationship is based on the psychological aspect of her being scared from that very first encounter. So seeing Al like write it the right way, like it's the bar, it's like the lowest expectations ever, right? Like, yeah, we should all expect that everybody would base an MJ Venom thing like on emotions and psychology and focus on that. I don't really have a lot of faith that anybody would. So like Al's doing it,
honestly.
and I'm just like, yes, thank you God. Like somebody still knows what we're doing over here. So first of all, it's still happening. We are in Venom proper now, and the recap page thing is still happening on the digital versions. I don't know who to call.
That's crazy.
I know,
That's
dude.
actually crazy. Like,
Ryan,
who do we contact to say, guys, what are we doing here?
I don't know how. It's been like 40 issues that this has been happening between regular Venom and all new and all the other stuff. And I'm just like, man. But aside from that, we open with, so joining up after all the Death Spiral stuff, we open on the funeral for Paul, who it's attended by kind of
Almost no one.
Almost no one outside of like the main Amazing Spider-Man cast. Shout out, Clone Geek. I know how much he loves the supporting cast. Like, and so how do I put this, Andrew? We all hate Paul. I don't think anybody, except for the most like contrarian of people, are going to be like, I thought Paul contributed anything. But
so Nick Lowe.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much Nick Lowe.
I already know where you're going with. I already know where you're going with this scene. And I'll just finish your thought here.
Yep.
What this scene does well is it lets us know, the reader, yes, Paul Rabin is in fact dead. But what it also does is, instead of it taking the opportunity to just put more digs on Paul, look, he's gone, he's dead. Hopefully he stays that way. This is Marvel Comics. Flip a coin. I don't know. It could be either way.
They mentioned Toxin again in this issue. My theory is still alive.
True.
My theory is still alive.
My fingers across, your theory is wrong, but I won't say it isn't just
Hope
yet.
It's wrong. Hope I'm right, and it's Al Ewing.
Right. Cards dealt, right? But what it does do is, instead of taking the opportunity to have in-universe characters crap on Paul more, like we already had Dylan doing that, and we loved it, right?
Yeah.
We loved that Dylan was taking shots at him.
We were like, finally, somebody's saying it.
Well, Al Ewing was utilizing Dylan as kind of like not just the average reader's voice, but also like his and Carlos's. Because like neither of them like Paul at all.
You could tell,
right? It was very clear.
They were like, we have to use him, right? Like,
yes, like
because Zeb Wells put him here, we have to include him.
Yeah. Again, this goes back to cards dealt. And if you're a good writer, you don't just say, I'm going to throw out and retcon everything that I don't like. I'm sorry. If you think that, you would never make a good writer at all in a continuing story, because that's not how good writing works. How good writing works is you look at things like, all right, I personally don't like this, and the audience doesn't like this. How do I move towards a direction that gets us back on track in a way where the audience is happy and the creatives are also happy? That takes time. That's not something you get to just play like, here's the reverse card. Hey, you activated my trap card, right?
Right.
And it's the retcon card. That doesn't work in good writing. It just doesn't. That's not a thing. I'm sorry. Good storytelling doesn't operate like that. Instead, what we get is Dylan having a human moment here, and I would consider a growth moment. Yes, none of us want to actually speak well of Paul because we hated the premise behind his character. We hated what he represented, and we hated everything that came along with him, right?
Oh, yeah.
We agree on all of that. However, if Dylan is going to grow as a human being and grow as a man, he still also needs to recognize and acknowledge that Paul was a human being.
Yes.
And that while we as the reader might not see value there in him as a character,
yes, exactly,
there's still like the humanity.
Like they're still in the story.
Account.
Like, remember, guys, what Andrew's saying is, while we see him as a character and an editorial choice, and he comes to us with everything Niccolo and Tom Brevoort push in universe, that doesn't exist. Like, that is not a thing. And okay, so you do know what I was saying, but you funnily enough took it in like a slightly different direction, because what I was gonna say is that in the praising Al Ewing and being a good writer who can play where the cards are dealt, the fact that when MJ is talking to everybody, she reveals that there's a lot, or wait, is it Lee? Who is she talking to about it? I think it's when she's talking to Peter. Yeah. So later, so Dylan freaks out. He gets that really good moment about, he's like, I shouldn't have been like so shitty to him. I got him killed, very human moment. And MJ goes, you need to realize, like, torment was coming for you no matter what. There was nothing, it's because you were related to Eddie. There is nothing. Torment, whether it was that day, the next, or 3 years from now, he was going to be at our door. So you cannot blame yourself for that, right? And I'm like, okay, great moment for Dylan, great moment for MJ, right? To that, when MJ is talking to Peter here about everything, MJ tells Peter, like, yeah, it's like he wasn't the nicest person, or he maybe he wasn't the most explosive person, like he didn't make that much of an impact, but he was a good person. Like, he was there with me in that post-apocalyptic world, protecting me and fighting alongside me. One of the revelations that Al makes in this issue, he says, like MJ goes, yeah, his dad, like Paul's dad, was responsible for ending that world because of all the tech stuff. So now Paul takes odd tech jobs, makes a bunch of money, gives it all away, right? Because he's just trying somehow to make up for it. And Ewing manages to humanize Paul in a way where we can go, like you were saying, editorially, get the hell out of here. We know why you exist. Nothing about that aspect of like your existence is welcome.
And none of that has to change. None
of that changes. But to what you were saying, Al is above going just like, haha, he sucks, right guys? Right guys? Right guys? Like, we know. We all know.
We know he's a good writer. And so instead, he takes the character growth choice.
Exactly.
He takes Dylan down that path, and even takes MJ down that path a little bit as well. Right, really in this issue,
because that's the crux.
Gosh,
of it here,
that
guys.
Carlos Gomez MJ!
It's so nuts.
My God!
So, I can't even explain what it's just. The only one in this, I mean, the Todd Knack, like that one page he drew of like MJ in the workout pants that was like randomly thrown into that issue. That was a good piece. And then I liked when Paco drew her in that, like, when she was doing the commercial and she had like the cleaning outfit on.
Oh, yeah.
I liked his MJ, but like Carlos just goes to another. And I wish, like, I'm an artist, I still can't even verbalize like what it is exactly that he gets right about his depiction. Like, it's not like he's drawing it super skinny and sexy like our guy J. Scott, right? It's not like she's drawing it super stylized like a Peach or something. It's just it's just really, really good. He's just really, really good at this. But that's the crux of the...
I'm actually just gonna say it. Best MJ artist ever.
I don't know. There's the one in Brazil to take it all the way back who gave us. Oh no, that's Gwen Stacy. I'm sorry. Yes, I think you're right then. Never mind. That's MJ. I think I can agree with that. But essentially, what we get here is we finally get Peter and MJ airing out everything between them. And as Andrew was saying, a lot of that involves MJ sort of, acknowledging Paul and acknowledging all of the struggles that they went through. They, come to this she makes this admission that a lot of the reason she even like got with Paul and ended things with Peter is because there was a time dilation in which we all knew that made it so like 4 years passed for her, like 5 minutes for Peter, or like an hour or whatever it was. And she's like, I didn't even think that could be a thing. And so I just want to pause there because, like, I don't know, Andrew, that felt weak. That feels weak to me, where it's like,
that's one of those like timey-wimey, how do we get past this really quick
but it's like,
explanations, which is ultimately a little weak. But I'm struggling personally as someone who's been reading all this to figure out at least immediately at face value what the better option would be.
that's
That's
me too.
not to
That's why I was
say
asking it. I know. Yep.
that's not to say that there isn't one. But that might have just been Al Ewing saying, "Can we just like move on from this, please?"
I think it is.
And
I think it
while
is.
that's still narratively weak, I kind
it's
of
doing
get
what
it.
it does, right? Like there's
Yeah.
probably, I mean, you hit it on the head. You and I can't think of anything off the top of our heads. There might just not be a better workaround, right? So
Yeah.
okay, it's weak. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being like overly critical, because I'm also like MJ, of all what we were saying with like the superhero support like group, right? Like of all people, MJ would be one of the people to understand like wiggity woggity, timey wimey, wibbly wobbly, right? Like Peter goes to a new dimension every 5 minutes. So
Right.
like you said, it's weak, but whatever, we'll just jump on with it. And so yeah, from there, it's really just about Pete and MJ clearing that air, basically reconciling as close as they can under
Right. And
Brevoort
there is one of those lines where it's like, man, if Brevoort and Lowe weren't in charge, if they were gone, so if they got shit canned like what's his face did recently, whatever it was a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, we talked about it.
Like if they got the boot, then there's a specific line in here where MJ says, like, let's see where things go to Peter.
Yeah, she says, you're my best
And it's
friend.
specific-
That's everything. Anything else, let's see what happens, okay? And
Yeah.
then, Peter goes like right back at you, and he goes like right back at you, no backsies forever. So like, that's as close as we're going to get. We have to settle for like anime romance here, right? Where like you don't kiss, you don't hold hands, you like wistfully stand next to each other in the future, right? Mary asks, shit canned, what does that mean? That just means fired, thrown into the shit can. You know, like you're so bad, you're just tossed away.
You get the boot to your booty.
But yeah, so like, this feels like Nick Spencer again. You know what I mean? And that's a positive, that's a compliment. Where like, Al was able to orchestrate all of this to get us here. And I think as Peter MJ fans, we can all go like, you're on our, like, I believe you that you're on our side. And I think we unfortunately all have to also accept like nothing's happening until Brevoort and Lowe get the hell
Ultimately,
out.
that's the thing. Like, so we got to play cards dealt. Like, just let Al Ewing write the story as best he can for now. With you know, Brevoort and Lowe being in charge.
Here, dude. So, kind of like an addendum to this that I wanted to bring up. Spider-Man Noir, the Prime show with Nick Cage, the one where like Noir is Ben Reilly, and don't even get me started on that one. So I was reading. First of all, came out yesterday. I had no idea. Like I haven't even watched it yet because my friend made fun of me too because I was like, it came out. And he's like, look at you, out of work for like a month, and you're already completely out of touch with like pop culture. And I was like, yeah, well, you know what? It's nice. But the showrunner for that show, he was giving an interview where they were like, why did you name him Ben Reilly? And he went, well, it's because in the comics he's Peter Parker, but I don't think, for the story we're trying to tell, the image of like Peter Parker, this young, youthful guy full of hope and optimism, like that's just not who we're going for. So we think it's easier to sell like a different character. And I went, I was like, I felt like my heart sank because I'm like, holy shit, the Tom Brevoortification of Peter has solidified in people, right?
Unfortunately, it has.
You and I went on this big rant like a couple of episodes ago, but like Peter, they try to insist like Peter Parker is about youth, is about coming of age, and it's like, no, it's not. It's about responsibility. Like that is the base of it all.
What's part of responsibility? Growing up,
right? And it's like, again,
what the hell?
I don't think I've said this trivia for a mini moon now, but Peter only was in college or like in high school for like 30 issues, guys. He was in
high school for like the first 2 years of publication,
and then he immediately went to like Empire State, and then he graduated
then he went to Empire
State
University.
Like, but no, now if you pick up a book, you'd be forgiven if you were like, oh, he's attending classes there now or whatever.
Yeah, he's
it's
still
dumb.
in his early 20s because he's dumb. And people who are in their early 20s are dumb.
But yeah, like that just hurt me. I'm like, guys, don't like breathe or that's all I can really, muster for that. But
get him out of here.
So from there, MJ and Peter, we get our romance, we get that all locked away. Mm-hmm. Next, Peter has a talk with Venom, and I also liked this, kind of relevant to what we were talking about earlier. Pete explains his spider sense here. He's like, dude, like, because they're like, okay, we're gonna suit up, and he's like, let me do it first, because if I put on my mask and anybody's around, it'll my spider sense will go off. And I'm like, see, it's auto. Like, you don't get to choose how strong it is. It will just tell you. But from there, we get a conversation between Peter and Venom where Pete is basically saying, like, all right, you're in charge of, like, somebody I love. You need to be honest with me. Like, are you influenced? Like, did you kill Torment? What's going on here? And Venom, he starts, like, he makes a dig about Gwen Stacy, right? He's like, oops, he fell.
Which is rude.
Dude, because Peter says, like, because he goes, oh, he fell. We tried to catch him. It didn't work. And he says, you didn't think to web him? And Venom goes, we didn't want to pull a Gwen Stacy. And I just want to shout out the art direction here because he says that line and then you flip the page and you get the contact here, which is what you and I, like, this is what I always talk about with Absolute Batman, right? Like that page turn and you're suddenly in the action and your brain fills in like what happened in the interim and you get the impact. And I'm like, yeah, dude. Like I got that panel and I was like, yeah, Carlos, that's what I'm talking about.
Carlos gets it, man.
He really,
and Al Ewing
really
knows how
does.
to write to Carlos Gomez's strengths. That's the sign of a good comic writer, where when you've worked with a particular artist, you learn their strengths and then you write to their strengths in terms of how you set up your panels.
And I also want to note, like, there's that really good point where Pete's like, Venom's like, he fell. And Pete's like, Mr. Stretchy Venom now couldn't get him. And I'm like, oh yeah, Al. Oh yeah, you're remembering everything. But from there, we learn that, Venom said that Gwen Stacy dig on purpose to sort of throw Pete off the trail because Venom goes, I'd rather Pete hate me than you. And they both admit that, I'll just say it. We were right. This is the point where you and I were right, as both of them admit to each other, like, I don't know who's in control anymore. Like, I don't know if we are Venom, you are Venom, I am Venom. So it's time to just do this thing. And both of them are like, yeah, I think it is. And we get, as we called, fully bonded MJ.
Let's go. Full synchro, baby.
Queen in Black time. And
with
that is
the line, too. I even said in the last episode, she's gonna say the line.
And again, we mentioned it when we were talking with Clone Geek earlier. I love this design. I think it's a good design.
I love the design, but I'm with you on the fingernails thing. I think it's just an odd thing. I think if instead of, because I think this is where I don't like it. It just looks like a black human hand with gold regular fingernails. Right. If instead she had more like slightly elongated, slightly elongated, like razor sharp gold fingernails, that I'd be okay with.
If she had like the talon, like the symbiote talons, and then like the tips were gold, and then it like gradiented right into like, black. Awesome.
I'd be here for that.
Right?
But I'm with you. That as that is right now, it's a little weird.
Because like nobody's ever done that. Pete's never done that.
Yeah.
Flash never did that. Eddie's never done
and
that.
Maybe that's intentional. Maybe they were thinking like, hey, this makes her more unified with the symbiote or something like that. And okay, like you could sell me on that on paper, but like visually, I don't really like it.
Our argument, that we've been making about the heels, about how it's like, this is MJ, she's feeling herself, right?
Yeah, well, she's a former supermodel.
I can get behind that too with the hands. It just, I think it's a bad choice. Like, it's just, sure, MJ, you're feeling yourself, bad move. Like faux pas. It's like, just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But from there, we get, our direct link to Queen in Black. We link back to Venom, what was that, 250? and
Yeah.
our anti-symbiote,
Which didn't feel
anti-null,
like the Venom
anti-Hela.
250.
Don't even get us started again. Don't even get us started. We're almost at the end, Andrew. We can get through this without going to 3.5 hours. Don't you tempt us. But yes, we end the issue with the official arrival and naming of the anti-symbiote, anti-Hela fighter, the Kree Captain Alliance. And look, guys, I'm gonna say I saw a lot of discourse about this page over the past week, where they're like, "This is stupid. What are we doing? This isn't what I want from Venom." If you are not down for this, you don't like comics.
I don't know how.
I'm sorry.
This medium just might not be for you.
And that's fine.
I'm sorry.
But if you look at this and you go, Captain Alliance, stupid name. Oh, alien guy, super I'm sorry. This is the most 70s, 60s comic. This almost feels like this could be the Marvel introduction.
Yeah.
Right?
This is freaking comic books, man.
Exactly. And so
this entire book has been just comic books. It's had its weaker moments, right? And we criticized it too, right?
Did.
Despite us being Al Ewing cultists, we still called out the fact that Madame Mask was kind of a weak presence. There was really not much reason for her to be there. We didn't care about her.
We really didn't. And then we were criticizing oh wait, where'd all the Scar stuff go? Because we're going right into Death Spiral. We were kind of, where's Captain Toxin? And thank God, Al Ewing mentions it again here. I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. So, and then guys, just this shot, I want this shit tattooed. I want it on my grave. I want it on my car. This is the best shot Carlos has drawn. And I don't know, man. It's great. Venom is really, really good. Even with all the swings it's taking. I don't think
it's taking big swings.
And a lot of them are I can't think of a big swing that hasn't at least gotten a base hit. You know what I mean? I haven't seen a strikeout yet, except for Death Spiral, but that was a DH, right? Al wasn't hitting there. That was Nick Lowe coming and being like, I got this one, I got this one. You didn't got this one. You know what you can get, Nick Lowe? Get the heck out. Go away. Yeah, you can
forever.
Fart off into
You can fluff off with your really horrible selfie in that Superman outfit that showcases your age. Go away.
That felt
forever.
Sad. You know why that felt even sadder is because okay, I can get that joke of oh, super hot person takes a photo and then somebody else recreates it, right? And the joke is I think I'm that hot too, and it's ironic, right? I get that was the joke from Nick Lowe, and what was that, Superman Day, right? Or no, it was the release of Superman Spider-Man.
It was the Superman Spider-Man, yeah.
And for those who don't know, Jorge Jimenez took a photo of himself in the Spider-Man suit or the Superman one? I forget.
It was the Superman one. It was Superman suit.
And,
and Jorge Jimenez is actually an unrealistically and unfairly good-looking dude.
He really is.
He looks like he has no business drawing comic books. He looks like he should probably either be modeling or bodybuilding or doing martial arts or something.
Else, right?
The dude is just he's ripped. He's got a beautiful wife. God bless him. And he's a talent.
Yeah.
He's a talented as hell artist. The dude is just he's got it in spades everywhere.
And he's super okay, it's very limited of an interaction, but on my main account, I don't have I've got 600, 700 followers or whatever. It's not I don't get a lot of visibility. I'm not verified or anything. But in the few times I've tagged Jorge's account just because I'm this page is amazing, he likes it. And I'm I know you're the one running this account too. So
yeah,
it's cool to see that he's aware and in touch with all of us. But then he posts a photo of himself, Superman suit. I'm so excited. Go pick up the issue. And Nick Lowe is I thought I'd get in on the action too. I'm in a Superman suit. And it's I get the joke you were going for, but there's no leg. You're not in that same zone, right? You're not as good of a comic creative. You're not that hot. Nobody likes you. That I don't know. It just felt you're trying to get in on the joke and it's not there.
Nobody in the Spider-Man fandom likes Nick Lowe.
Nobody.
And if they say they do, I either don't believe them and they're saying it for whatever stupid reason they're saying it, or I think they should be cast out.
You know what?
You are the chaff that should be sifted from the wheat.
You're the reason he sticks around. You know, it's like on Survivor when it's like, all right, everybody's got to unanimously vote, and that one person just is like, no, Nick can stay. Well,
it's like,
now,
all right,
okay.
no, you're the one we got to get rid of now first before
Exactly,
we can
like,
get rid of this other jackhole.
You sleep over here on the island where, you know, oh yeah, there's no tree cover to block spears or anything. Like, you just take a nap, you'll be fine. But speaking of, you know what, Nick? I'll give you something. Even the most unlikable people can have a redemption and can find their way into good graces.
It can. You just have to actually try.
As evidenced by our boy, Superboy Prime.
It's prime time, baby.
Prime time. Oh my God. I've got such a good graphic I'm working on. It'll probably be ready for the next show. But guys,
okay,
we'll wrap here. We'll probably go a couple minutes over our normal time because it's prime time. And as we've talked about, dude, this book is just so good. It is. I laugh.
It really is.
I laugh out
not
loud
a lot.
at this book.
Not a lot happens in this issue, but it's just a fun issue, and it's worth talking about for a few minutes because Joshua Williamson, and it's in our title, really is writing a generational run on the Superman book.
This book is, I almost feel like there's nothing like. I'll end the show here because all I'm going to say is like this book is amazing. All I'm going to do is fanboy out over it because it's just like him and Dan and what they're doing over here. It's pure comics. It's good comics. Shall we just jump into it? I don't even know how to set this up.
Let's just jump into it. Let's do it.
As you guys might remember, memory jogged from the cover. Where we are is Superboy Prime filling in for Superman in Metropolis. Recently got a job at a comic book store and had an encounter with a very cute redhead who, you know, oh, he's cute. Turns out she's Witchfire. Whoa.
Yep.
Super surprising. We don't know what's going on with that. All the meanwhile, while Superboy Prime is trying to redeem his name, he is having sort of flashbacks or in-moment retcons, even rewrites as to what he, like, who he really is, right? Remember, Superboy, you're a killer. You're not a hero. And we have no idea what's going on. So first, we open on Superboy Prime closing up shop for the day, taken out, right? And just from the very first line here, Andrew, like I already laughed because Superboy says, you know, good night, guys. And hey, remember, the solicit copy is just sales copy. It's not the story. You gotta read the comic, you know? And I'm just like, it shouldn't have to be so obviously stated, but seriously, guys, how do you read comic books and not at this point understand what solicits are? They're not for us. They're for the retailers, right? Like to get them to go, oh, big event. I'll buy a bunch of those books. Like, I don't know. I was just like, thank God for you, Superboy Prime. But from there, Prime sees the very cute girl from the comic book store being chased by very classic monsters, which I like this idea because I think, like, if Superboy Prime would have thought for a second, he'd have been like, that's weird. Like, why are they the universal monsters, right? Like, that seems tricky. He would have realized it was a trap by Witchfire. And Witchfire reveals herself.
But Prime Time is busted powerful. He's not the brightest character in the universe.
He's he's like Goku. He's very much a Goku, right? So he's trying his best, a little thick-headed at times. So even here, he leaps into action, tries to save the day. Witchfire traps him, goes, oh boy, I got you in my trap now. Unfortunately, doesn't realize he's Superboy Prime. And so Superboy goes, yeah, magic won't hurt me. And he kind of gets into it. And we learn that Witchfire, she has been a hero this entire, in continuity in DC. Mm-hmm. And we learn that there is some sort of malevolent spirit terrorizing Metropolis. And Witchfire and her coven they wanted an innocent soul to stand out, they'll trap him in the street and use him as bait, essentially, because a pure soul would attract the demon and then they'd fight it. Unfortunately, she picked Superboy Prime and he goes, Big problem. I'm not innocent. And we get a recap of kind of everything he's been through, from the Sinestro Corps War to Infinite Crisis. I also laughed at this page here, Andrew, because while Witchfire burns off everything and we get the shirt, in panel 2 there, you can see Superboy Prime's taking like the gauntlet and like the chest piece like out of his backpack. And something so like kind of what we were talking, like, dude, you know the Atom, like, you know people who can make this nano, like, you don't need to, like, what are you doing here, dork, right? Like,
yeah.
So good. But from there, Witchfire and Superboy Prime go undercover into a goth club to get a better lead on, you know, this demonic presence and to meet the rest of Witchfire's coven. Amazing joke here by Superboy Prime where he asks why both of them are dressed like they're in a Vertigo comic. And another really good joke here where Superboy Prime's dancing, bumps into somebody, says, "Oh, sorry," and it's Jimmy. And it's Jimmy Olsen. He's like, "You look like somebody I know." He's like, "No, I get that a lot. Gotta go. Bye." And Witchfire's like, "You know that guy?" It's a long story. So just lots of these fun little like bits, you know what I mean? They're not focuses, but
Williamson knows how to utilize the fourth wall stuff with Prime without getting obnoxious about it. Like he's not taking him.
Yeah.
I was literally about to say he's not making him Deadpool.
And it works. It genuinely works so far. And so they finally get to the bottom of it, and we learn that it's I thought I went to Zoom. Lord Satanus and Lady Blaze. Haven't seen those guys in a while, but they're attempting to, you know, encroach and come out of hell because Neron is the one running it, and they don't really like his leadership. So it's up to Superboy and Witchfire, and Superboy Prime just starts tearing into them, right? And he's super excited because he can't unleash normally because he's so strong, like Andrew was saying. And so he's like, I can just let loose. This is awesome. Like, I needed the workout. And yeah, so from there, we get, you know, a really cool shot of Witchfire doing her thing, sort of ending the spell, sealing them away, sending them away. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Day is saved, and Superboy Prime he realizes how hot Spitfire or Witchfire truly, truly is. And with that, we get sort of, you know, they emerge, and we get this, what am I trying to say here? Like a post report by the both of them, I guess, where they emerge and they're like, "Whoa, that was like a lot of fun. That was crazy." And you can see that, you know, like there's an attraction brewing there, but
a little bit of tension.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, as you know, it's been happening for a couple pages, but Superboy Prime starts speaking, it comes out as nonsense. Like, even to us, it's just jumbled letters, and we have, what the hell is going on? And right there, Superboy Prime starts freaking out, just shouting and gibberish, and Witchfire's like, I don't know what's going on, but you need to calm down. And suddenly, Superboy Prime gets literally ripped off the page. And when we say, like, ripped off, like, ripped through the page, we mean literally. Like, this is the house ad.
Literally ripped out of the page.
This is the house ad this week, in this part, in all the books, and they're literally ripping him through. Like, I was like, I don't know, man. This is what you were just talking about, the fourth wall stuff. It's so expertly used. But from there, we have Superboy Prime sort of dumped into a in-progress page, and we get I guess we knew he was around, but I also totally forgot. Manchester Black is here. He was in that very first issue, and
yep.
And I forgot. I genuinely did until he revealed here, and I was like, oh, if we'd have thought for like 2 seconds, we probably would have landed on like it's psychic manipulation, like easy. But I don't know why we didn't, because Williamson's that good. You know what I mean? Like, there was so much other good stuff going on. We didn't have to worry. Like, we didn't have to think about him. But
he's really kicking butt.
He's
just straight up kicking butt.
And so we get the reveal that Manchester Black essentially wants Superboy Prime to basically prime Earth as we know it is too good. After, you know, Wonder Woman reset it and everything, and after the Dark Crisis, it leans too nice. And Manchester Black is like, you know, I'm Vertigo comic. Like, I want that grimy world back. Like, that's what I need.
hold on, real,
Yeah.
real quick, circling back on that line. I loved when Prime and Witchfire walked into that club and he made the remark about why is everybody dressed like they belong in a Vertigo
Yeah,
comic?
I brought that up. I brought that up. Maybe like it didn't come through because like I said it and I waited for you and you didn't register it. So I was like, maybe it's not that.
It might
funny,
have just like
but
flown straight by me, but like I think we're on the same page with
Yeah.
it. Like I love that he made that line.
and I was like, yeah, it pretty much looked like John Constantine. But then, so yeah, that is what we learned. He wants Superboy Prime to punch reality so hard again
Mhm.
that it shatters back into the Infinite Crisis era, essentially, right? Which is when DC was at its darkest and grimiest and grittiest and edgiest.
True. Yeah, Infinite Crisis, guys, remember those who didn't who weren't reading at that time, or maybe you've forgotten because it's been 20 plus years.
It's been a long time.
Infinite Crisis, I mean, that leading into that was when Wonder Woman killed Maxwell Lord. And not just killed, she executed him.
And that was also the lead-in where, you know, Dr. Light assaulted, who was it? The other Dr. Light? Was that who it was?
No, it was Dr. If you're talking about Identity Crisis.
Yeah, that was
Dr. Light.
Jean Lorraine, right? Like the Ray's wife? Like Ray's wife?
Yeah.
That's
there was a lot of like kind of dark stuff that was going on at that time.
Like lots of dark stuff, guys. And what was the Bat stuff at that time? I can't even remember, but it's got to have been
Like with Batman with Identity Crisis, they had like
wiped his mind.
like locked away his mind, right, to not remember certain things.
That's right. So yeah,
we were
at a very
there were
edgy
some
time.
really weird publishing decisions going
And that's
on
why
there.
we had Infinite. Like that's genuinely why we had Infinite, and why DC tapped Phil Jimenez and Marv Wolfman, George Perez, to write it because they did the original Crisis. Let's get us out of this, X-Men 2000s leather edginess and get us back to comic books. And that's really what it did. Look at what happened with Final Crisis. You don't get more comic book than Final Crisis at all.
Final Crisis was very comic book.
But yeah, Infinite Crisis in all its edginess, that's what Manchester Black wants back. He needs Superboy Prime's help in getting there. Kicks his ass up and down the literal page as it's being constructed until he manipulates. So I don't know if I think I mentioned it in passing, but what Manchester Black is doing, he's, manipulating Superboy Prime's mind, having him doubt himself, trying to remind him of the evil version he was. So he goes, all right, you really want to play this game? You don't want to help me? Snaps him back. And we are right back in the middle of Infinite Crisis. We are at the downfall moment for Superboy Prime.
The most pivotal moment, for Superboy Prime up to that point.
Where he just starts, this is where he sort of throws it, it's not even a tantrum, it's like a panic attack. But because
this is the thing that we've been kind of like hinting at and whispering against the era of like this entire run so far with Prime is these little hints and like almost non-flashbacks that he's been having towards the stuff that he did back in Infinite Crisis. So I'm really curious to see where Williamson takes us.
I can't even predict because there's so many different ways and they could go all bad, but I don't think they will because it's Williamson. So I'm just here for the ride. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for the next issue. I'm excited for the omnibus. I'm excited for the hardcover. Just give me all of it. That's where I am at this point.
Just give me Williamson Superman.
It's ridiculous. I will say, so you know this, Andrew. I've got a big soft spot for Infinite Crisis because that's where I sort of joined back into reading comic books. Looking at this page, I will just put on my little nerd hat, my pedantic hat, and say there is a significant individual missing from this lineup, and it is the second Wildcat. Remember, because that's the first person who jumps on him and he punches out, and her head just goes whoop,
gone,
and he goes ah, it's kind of like the boys almost. You know what I mean? He's like ah, and so I'm like, where is she? I'm sure she's behind the camera or whatever. But I was like, interesting choice, Dan. But yeah, guys, Primetime continues to accelerate. I want more of it. I can't criticize. I don't have a criticism here. I genuinely don't yet. This is all
Williamson Superman is just a fantastic book.
And dude, seeing Mora's Superboy Prime in his Superboy outfit
In his
is
original Superboy outfit. That's unreal,
something
man.
else, dude. It's something else. So he's so innocent. The light is still in his eyes. But yes, guys, that is Superman 38. Look at we came in at 235. We did that really, really well. But
We're right on it.
Andrew,
We're right on it.
anything left to say about Primetime while we're still here?
Nah, other than guys, Superman by Joshua Williamson is worth the read. It is absolutely worth the read. This is one of the best Superman runs in a very long time.
If I was gonna say, like, if you don't like Superman, this is a good run to get on board, but it's like it's not that kind of run. This is a good run. So this is one of those good runs where it's like DC loves the multiverse. Give me a good DC multiverse story right here. Like,
I think what it is this is a good exploratory run where I think the idea of if you don't like Superman, this is a good run for you. I think that's incorrect. I think what it is if you love what Superman stands for, this is a good run for you, because this is Prime trying to strive towards what he knows Superman stands for, and for a long time he's not been able to live up to, and he's been like diametrically opposed to it. And this is him like really striving towards and struggling against like living up to that.
And it's also
and that's something that makes this an aspirational story rather than just an inspirational story.
I mean, he mentions it when he's explaining his backstory to Witchfire, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm a bad person, but I'm trying to make up for it. Like, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to be who I can. And to your point, this is also, it's aspirational in the fact that, guys, we can fail a lot, right? We could let down people. And even if we think we're being the most, heroic, virtuous, whatever, we can still fail. And what do I want to say about it? It's like
that can happen to anybody all the time. It can
happen to anybody, but there's always a chance for redemption if you truly care. I mean, like, that's what he was talking to Damian about.
It requires the work. You need to put in the legwork, right?
And it's sort of a lot of people in Prime's position would see like, oh, I don't have the approval of Superman. Like, I want to be Superman. Oh, he's not giving me his approval. Then screw it. Screw him. I'm not going to try. Like, I don't need him, even though they still want it. Right?
Yeah.
Other people will go, I've let them down. How do I make it so I can live up to that standard? A lot of people think that one day they're just going to wake up and that other person is going to go, hey, Andrew, we're good now. Like, I trust, like, prove yourself to me. Like, I'm ready for you. And it's like, it's not how that works. You need to show, like, the other person has to see it in you, which is why, to bring it all around, this is the first time in all 10, 20 years of his existence as Infinite Crisis Superboy that Superman gave him approval, right?
Yeah.
Like, when he was ready to sacrifice himself against the Darkseid's Legion. First time Superboy Prime got that, like, acknowledgement. And it wasn't just because Superman's a good person. It's because Superman saw Prime's actually putting his heart in it. Like, this is not just him talking shit.
That's right.
I see it. And so I think that's a really good way of putting it. If you like what Superman stands for, this is the run for you. You know what? It's a perfect way to end this show with a
Never before have we had greater face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. What kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?